All right, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Happy fight night. We are live, everybody, on a special bonus, sort of impromptu watch party here on the MMA Fighting YouTube channel for the highly anticipated rematch, if you want to call it that, from UFC 244, November 2019. Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, part 2. And we're here to either watch the fights with you or tell you what the hell is going on if you don't want to spend the $50. But thank you all very much for joining us. I am Mike Heck. That man to my right, fellow New Englander, fellow Red Sox fan. Tough night at Yankee Stadium today, but it's all right. It's all right. Jose Youngs is here. How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. Would have been better if the Red Sox won, but what an electric game last night was. Yes. Obviously, that was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Going to the game tomorrow at Yankee Stadium.
Sick.
It was bumped to Sunday Night Baseball. So I was looking forward to, a Sunday afternoon game, Yankee Stadium, aka the worst place in America. I think it was supposed to be 1 o'clock game, and now it's a 7 p.m. game. So should be fun.
Yes. So listen, the plan was we were going to go live. We timed it out just right. We were like, look, it might be 10:30, it might be 11. It's whenever Anthony Pettis versus Chris Avila is going to start. That's how we're going to time this thing. Unfortunately, much like the rest of fight week has gone for this promotion, everything has started either late or very, very, very slowly. This is a PFL Tour pacing, if there ever was any pacing at all. We are still 4 fights away from the main event. We're about to start Kermel Moton versus Nikolai Bolan. Of course, Kermel Moton is the 19-year-old, right?
I think he's 19-year-old. He's 19 or 20, yeah.
Yeah, so he's Floyd Mayweather's dude. He's fighting a dude who's on a 4-fight losing streak. And I think we know how this fight's going to go. So maybe we began this at the right time. We're going to get a little bit of a squash match, and then we'll lead right into Anthony Pettis versus Chris Avila. But so far, Jose, how have you enjoyed Diaz versus Masvidal? The crowd in Anaheim has showed out. They have been telling us all broadcast long this is a legit sellout, and I got to tell you, it looks and sounds very much like a legit sellout.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it would. I was never under the impression that it wouldn't sell out because Nate and Jorge have how would I describe it? They have very loyal followings, and I just don't think anyone that follows them ingests too much pre-fight stuff. What do you need? Does Nate Diaz need to sell a fight for you to be invested? As far as Masvidal need to sell a fight for you to be invested? I don't really think so. Plus, Anaheim, oddly enough, outside of Disneyland stuff, there's not a lot going on in Anaheim. But for whatever reason, the Ducks, the LA Angels of Anaheim, the baseball team, they just sell out everything. I think people just go to Anaheim and then there's stuff to do. Obviously the boxing fans will travel, especially in California, people will travel for the Diaz brothers. It would have been really interesting to see how this would have done at the Forum, because that's, in Englewood, traffic is way worse over there than it is in Anaheim. So I think it was a smart move sticking it out here. Plus, you got these guys Moton is a legitimate prospect. I think he's 4-0, maybe 5-0. He's Floyd Mayweather's new project he's working on right now. He has 60-something amateur fights. And the guy, this is everything is set up to be a squash match. So plus Danny Jacobs is fighting and Pettis is fighting, Avila is fighting. It's probably a big MMA crowd, but nonetheless, I was never under the impression that it wouldn't be a sellout. I'm more curious in how many pay-per-view buys it does, if that makes sense.
That's the big question of this all, especially in such a very busy weekend. With Independence Day dropping on Thursday. But we are in the first round of Moton versus Bolan, where if you want to watch literally right with us, I don't even know where you're at, Jose. I should have timed this, but 221, 220, 219.
I'm at 221. I'm at 19 right now. So you're a second ahead of me.
All right.
It's not
I'll have to pause. Yeah, we'll get there. By the time we get to Pettis, we'll make sure we're synced up and ready to go.
What are you at right now?
202, 201.
All right, now we're synced up. I hit
Look,
live, so it jumped up a second.
All right, so we are no bells and whistles here, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
We're just gonna go and let you know what's happening.
This is what we did for Ngannou Fury, and we sat there for basically an entire UFC card.
It's like a 4.5 hour freaking watch party for 3 fights.
That's
Two
right.
fights. Two fights.
And
you
I
just
made
did the co-main event and the main event.
And as John Kavanaugh once said, win or learn. I'm not making the same mistakes this time. I went to the bathroom ahead of time. I got my water right here. My phone's charged up, so we're ready to rock.
The amount of people who have hit me up over the last 2.5 hours, Jose, to tell me that Stephen Dunn got finished in round 2
That's crazy.
by New England's own Gabriel Aguilar Costa is unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. I missed it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm not even going to watch this because we already know the story's already been written, Jose.
Yeah.
The book's already been written. It's already in bookstores. It's a New York Times bestseller. Stephen Dunn knocks out Gabriel Aguilar Costa. And then it turns out that's not what happened at all. Craziness.
Yeah, who would have thought the guy on what was his record? 3-7 and has been knocked out.
6-1.
He has a bunch of first round knockout losses fighting the guy that barely gets out of the first minute. Like, that's crazy to me. That is insane. That is genuinely insane to me to watch. Moton is so good.
He is killing this, man. Oh, Moton is not here for a long time, friends. Bolan is he's down.
Moton has like 500K Instagram followers already. Like, he's going to be a big deal.
Dude, he's a monster.
Yeah.
So he's gonna see round 2, but I don't think it's going far past that. There we go. All right. We had Amado Vargas versus Sean Garcia right before we went live. Fun as hell, man. For a fight that Vargas clearly dominated from like rounds 3 on.
Yeah.
Garcia, tough as hell, man. Dude just battled back and got into it. And, it's tough because you know how this all is. Sean is obviously Ryan Garcia's brother, and it's been a tough week for the family. And Ryan, of course, shows up to the event and he walks Sean to the ring, and he can't avoid Ryan anywhere he turns, and then he goes out there and fights his ass off, but gets stopped in round 6. But that was a very fun fight.
Yeah, you can't, but those body shots catch up to you. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how much. Dude. I don't care how great your chin is. You can't take that many body shots over 6 rounds, like full force. Your body, regardless of what you want it to do, will just shut down on its own. A la when Dan Hooker fought Edson Barboza. Dan Hooker tried to keep fighting, and Edson Barboza just kept kicking him in the stomach, and then he just turned off.
Yes, we are in round 2. Moton just outlanding him 35-5 so far after round 1. A lot of people asking when the main event's going to start. As the day began, they were saying midnight Eastern is when there's no chance. There's 0 chance that happens. 0 chance. Oh. Just Moton rip into the body right up top.
Because this should end soon. Pettis Avila.
Dude,
Pettis Avila could go 6 rounds.
Very possible.
And I think tough. Danny Jacobs, Shane Mosley will probably go 10 rounds. Those guys are just 2 vets, like tough vets.
Oh, Moton just landing big. It's still got 2 more minutes to go. Big big. This is target practice, but shout out to Bolan just staying in there. He's trying to throw back. He's just getting drilled, man.
Moton's 20. How old is Bolan? Like 30-something, 31, 35. Yeah. He's like 15 years younger than him or older than him.
Oof. He's shorter, but such a reach advantage. He just cuts that ring off so good. Oh, down he goes. And that's it. Referee has seen enough. Just what we needed. Moton coming in, squashing. Now we're going to go back to the desk to Amanda Guerra and Josh Thompson for the next 38 minutes
before
we get to the next fight. Floyd Mayweather very happy, of course. Kid's got a
He's
future.
great.
No doubt
He's
about it.
great. He's
From
he's one of the futures. I don't know what division he's eventually going to settle on, but yeah, he's going to be a big problem. For as weird as Floyd is, as like he's just obviously we don't have to get into everything Floyd's done in and out of the ring. Everyone knows what he's done. He certainly has an eye for talent. At least he doesn't really have he never really has a large stable of fighters like the Golden Boys or the Matchrooms, where he just, he has fighters, these superstars and all these white clouds, but and then on the flip side, all these people he discovers and kind of guides to the top end up losing their minds, like Adrian Broner and Tank Davis. So hopefully Mo keeps his head on straight and doesn't become one of those guys. In terms of what,
he seems wise beyond his years already.
Yes, but Ryan Garcia was also very young and very talented, and we saw what happened there. So, and Mike Tyson was 20 when he won the World Heavyweight Championship of the world, and we saw what that led to. So I'm hoping Moton keeps his head on straight.
Yes, and he certainly had his head on straight here. Just one-way traffic as expected. I don't even know what the betting lines are, but
I can't even.
Yeah, man, half his age just went out there and did the thing. Well done. The look on Floyd's face there in the replay, double fist pumps. He's very excited. And now Mo will talk with the great Brian Campbell after Jimmy Lennon Jr. makes it official, and hopefully we get right into the Anthony Pettis-Chris Avila fight. Just right into it. Get him out. Get the next two dudes in.
Would be ideal, but it's never going to happen.
No chance. No chance. And Moton getting announced the winner. Looking very, very happy. Man, dude is a baby. Gotta be 18 again, Jose.
4-0, my God.
Dude's a problem. Dude is a big problem. He's very humble. Big smile. I mean, just,
Shout out Brian Campbell.
Shout out Brian Campbell. Brian Campbell, very tall man, which I didn't realize until I met him in person in Las Vegas.
Him and Luke are very tall people.
Yeah, I knew Luke would be tall.
Yeah.
Luke's just a big, huge man.
Yes.
I didn't think Brian was as tall as he was, but he's a tall man. Look at the look on Floyd's face. Just like a proud man watching his up and comer, his protege, getting his life together, getting the game on. Dude's fighting for world titles.
Eventually.
Seems pretty clear. Not now, no, but down the line.
5 or 6 years, yeah.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, we get a little MMA in the boxing ring. We have Anthony Pettis, who makes his second pro boxing walk.
I think this is his first pro boxing match, right? Was the
Roy Jones fight wasn't a pro fight?
I don't think so, because I can't imagine Roy Jones would take an L on his professional record against someone that was 0-0. I say that knowing that the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight.
All right, let me look and see. No, it was a pro boxing bout.
That's crazy.
It was a pro bout. Yes, Anthony Pettis 0-0 fighting Roy Jones, who at the time was 66-9.
That's insane.
And Pettis wins, which I didn't think Pettis won that fight. I got to be honest with you. Remember watching that one live, and it was a close fight. It's a close fight, but yeah. All right, so we'll wait the Pettis Avila walks. We'll let you know when that fight's going to go down. 30 body punches in a round and a half, 65 power punches, 73-10 the total. Just tremendous stuff from Kermel Moton. Dude's real good. All right, if you guys want to fire some questions along, we will get after it here. We will get after it. Eric Castillo, Mike Perry or Jake Paul? That, of course, is not going down tonight, but July 20th, we're getting close. It's 2 weeks from tonight in Tampa. That fight's happening. Where are we at with that one, Jose?
I think Jake Paul. Jake Paul is a huge, physically a large man. Mike is obviously physically very large and, in incredible shape, but Jake is 230 probably. Walking around like 230, 240, and Mike fought at 170 pounds in the UFC. I don't think he's going to knock him out. If he does, it'll be later on because Mike Perry is too tough for his own sake. He's had his nose pushed to the other side of his face. He's got head kicked and everything, but that nose breaking was by a knee, and that head kick was obviously from a head kick. Take those out of the equation. I don't know another human being that's going to be able to put Mike Perry away. If Jake Paul does it, I'm imagining it'll just be because it'll be something similar to what we watched where like your body just like shuts down. Like you just can't take that much damage. Also, fighting bare knuckle is so much different than fighting an actual boxing match.
Yeah. I mean, the pick is Jake Paul. I think he wins a decision. I think it's a pretty comfortable decision, but it's definitely going to be a fight that his stock's going to rise because he's going to sit there and just get hit. He's going to punch back. He'll probably win like the last 2 or 3 rounds, and he'll look like $1 million in the process. So he's in a tremendous situation. Outside of him just getting bodied in the first minute of that fight, it's a win-win for Mike Perry, and I just don't see a world where that even happens. So there you go. Lazy Bed, thank you. Really wish this watch along was at Jed's Apex. Don't worry, we'll be back at the world's most famous Atlanta Apex in 3 weeks' time for UFC 304. Don't you worry. We're going back, and we're going to be better than ever back at Jed's Apex. Very excited. When is the main fight? Boy, I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you. They, at the beginning of the day, they ETA'd it at midnight Eastern time. There is zero chance that happens unless Pettis, Avila, Jacobs, and Mosley Jr. just say, you know what, we don't feel like fighting tonight. Just put the main event on. But I don't see that happening. Paul's going to beat him easy. MMA spying into MMA fighters can box still. Listen, I think we all know what this is. Jake's just the younger, bigger, stronger boxer, but Perry's tough as shit. So it's the kind of fight we want to see Jake in there with.
I'm curious about the boxing, but if they do MMA, like what weight class would they do in MMA? Because you know how
it'd have to be 185.
Nikisa was on, Nikisa was on the Nikisa Badarian, who's like Jake Paul's promoter, was on the MMA Hour and said that Mike Perry could be the one that would get Jake Paul into the smart cage in PFL. 180, like Jake Paul is so big. Yeah, cutting down to 180. He was bulking up to fight Mike Tyson. Now you want him to cut down to 185? That'd be crazy. Like,
what did he weigh for the Nate fight?
Was
he 195 for Nate?
Probably.
I don't remember. Yeah, maybe Mike would probably just have to do it at 95.
Yeah, it was a cruiserweight. No, what was it? What was the weights?
Yeah, Nate didn't have to like cut a friggin' pound. I don't think
it was a catch weight of 185.
Yeah, that's right. Does this card get a half a star on Jed's scale? Probably not. But we'll see.
You know what? I love more hype videos. That's what we need.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. See, this is the problem with this is that they have great hype videos, but you could have already seen these hype videos many, many times already on YouTube. We need to move this shit along. Like, no one wants to watch these hype videos. Like, we're already here. If people are watching this hype video right now, that means they've already spent the $50. So you don't need to sell them on it. It's done. The purchase has been made. Or the nefarious stream has been clicked on already. They're in. They're already in.
Yeah, if you're watching Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal box on Saturday night, you're probably already sold on it.
Yeah, this watch party was just came out of nowhere. We talked about it this morning. I had the night off. I wasn't even gonna I was probably just gonna sit on my couch and watch it, but I was like, you know what? I'm already watching it. I might as well share with the world here. Lazy Man, more likely to end the night first: Diaz's scar tissue or Jorge's gas tank? Interesting question.
Jorge doesn't really have a bad gas tank. Like, he gets beat up in the late rounds, but I don't remember him wilting. Do you?
Not really. I mean, he definitely tuckered out in the Burns fight, but he was also
off
his back the entire fight.
He was like grappling for 15 minutes.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah. I mean, in the first Usman fight, but that was also on 5 days' notice, going to Abu Dhabi, cutting 1 billion pounds.
He flew across the world and cut like 30 pounds in a week. Like, give him a break. I think Nate's scar tissue, if anything.
Nate's scar tissue, yeah.
But it didn't play a factor against Jake Paul. And I thought for sure that was something would happen against Leon.
Yeah. Interesting. Someone was like, there's no betting lines for Avila versus Pettis, and I think you're right.
Shakur Stevenson is also fighting tonight, guys. So
that's true. That is true. Where's the rest of the freaking card? That's interesting. Let me see if I can find some for you. Shakur Stevenson, by the way, if you are planning on betting on Shakur Stevenson, care to wager how big of a favorite Shakur Stevenson is right now on DraftKings, Jose?
Minus 1,200.
Minus 10,000. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life.
Well, Shakur Stevenson
being a minus 10,000 favorite.
Shakur Stevenson might be the best boxer in the world. He needs that opportunity. I also very, very much enjoy. Have you ever listened to Shakur Stevenson like break down fights or like talk game plans and everything?
Dude,
I find it very
smart
refreshing.
As hell.
I find it very refreshing how honest he is. Like someone asked him like, how would you fight Manny Pacquiao? I go, I'll tell you what, there's gonna be a lot of boo birds out there because I am making that fight boring. So I was like, hey, do what you gotta do, man. Like I think it's very funny because he's like, Manny Pacquiao likes to brawl, he comes in hot, he does this and that. I'll just clinch up, make the fight super boring, I'll get booed, and then I'll go cash my check. I'm like, hey, name of the game, I guess.
Guys, I can't believe I'm about to say this into a live microphone 10 minutes after a fight just ended, but we have a promotional package.
Love that.
For Anthony Pettis versus Chris Avila right now. So
love that.
We could be getting walkouts in a moment, but we could also be going back to the desk to get 30 minutes of analysis about this fight as well. So stay tuned. We will let you know what everything has in order here.
Chris Avila, low key, has been one of the better MMA guys to transition over to boxing.
He has. He's looked pretty good.
In terms of win losses, obviously, like fighting, what was his name, Dr. Mike, and fighting Jeremy Stevens, and
I was there for the Stevens fight. He looked good.
Fighting Anthony Taylor. I was there for the Dr. Mike fight.
Where was that one?
Was
that the Anderson Silva card?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So I was there for the Taylor fight, and I was there for the Jeremy Stevens fight because Chris Avila missed weight by a whole bunch. And it was one of the more impressively intelligent weight misses I've ever seen because Jeremy Stevens was about to make a bag of money, and basically Avila and his team were like, all right, bet. Like, if you don't want to fight, that's fine, but you're not getting a dime. Yeah. Like, that's it. It's either you fight or you're getting nothing. And Jeremy's like, shit, I'll fight. And he went out there and fought and made money, but he didn't win. So here comes
and tell you
Anthony
what,
Pettis.
Man, everyone keeps talking like obviously Paige Van Zandt doing power slap, and everyone keeps saying like, oh, Paige Van Zandt is collecting sports like MMA, bare knuckle, boxing, and now power slap. I'm like, Anthony Pettis has been doing that. This is his third sport in the last 2 years. In karate combat, he's in MMA, and now he's just doing his second boxing fight. He said he wanted to do more karate combat. Called out, isn't he fighting Cedric Doumbé at some point?
They're trying to set that one up, and I really like that fight. They
faced off in the ring.
They did. I know Pettis really wants that one, and they're trying to set it up, but PFL likes to do things where they plant seeds and then they don't grow the plant at all. Yeah. They just do face-offs, and then Pettis will fight some random dude and Doumbé will fight somebody else. And
I don't think Pettis is at that point in his life where he'll just fight a random dude.
That's true.
I truly think Pettis is like, he's a smart business dude. Like I'm not saying strategic, like he's taking easy fights, but he wants, even if he loses, he wants the biggest name. Like boxing Roy Jones Jr., fighting Benson Henderson, karate combat, fighting Chris Avila. Because if Chris Avila, if Anthony Pettis wins, why Anthony Pettis could theoretically fight winner of the main event.
Yeah. Jose, KRS-One or MF Doom?
literally the man's face is tattooed on my body. Doomed for life. Bring up that question again real quick, too. All right, good. All caps. That's right.
This guy knows this shit. Thank you. $5. Why isn't MMA fighting covered Habib's gym being raided? Ariel said MMA hours not paid enough to talk about it. I love the show, guys. Because I mean, obviously we've seen the story and we've reached out about it, but you can only confirm what you can confirm, and if you can't confirm it outside of somebody else writing about it, then you can't really do much.
Here's the thing about MMA fighting. If we see something online, we're not just going to write about it without doing our due diligence. Because Correct. I could tweet right now that Chris Avila just got his head cut off in the ring, and then dozens of sites would aggregate that and take it as gospel. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening like that. Yes, obviously we saw the footage, but like, we're not going to say all of this happened without finding out all of the details. That's silly. And that is irresponsible. And it's a disservice to the people that are interested in finding out the truth.
Yeah. And it may not be an isolated incident. It might not just be, it could be all the gyms in that area. We don't know. But Habib just happens to be the most famous one there. I mean, it just could be one of those things. Oh, this is a great question. Jose, would you rather make graphics for Masvidal Diaz 2 in boxing or rehash McGregor Chandler graphics for the 13th time? Here's
the thing. I think it was Bleacher Report last year did this really cool concept that I had never seen before. I think it was like January 1st or January 2nd. And they posted what they call the graphics graveyard of graphics they had prepped and never used. So it was like Damian Lillard in a Heat jersey, or like the Miami Heat as NBA champions, or who won the World Series, or the Diamondbacks as World Series. It was like stuff like that. And graphics, you can only post a slideshow. You can only post 10 at a time. So they kind of collaged a lot of them. I could make an entire slideshow of 10 slides of all of the Chandler McGregor graphics in the graveyard, because remember when they were trying to joke about weight classes? Every single event they were tied to. So remember September last year after the Ultimate Fighter, and then they were going to do it in December, and then there was this idea of them doing it at 300, and then they were obviously 303. Like every single time they were tied to a event, a pay-per-view, I made a graphic for that, and I made it in 3 different weight classes: lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, just in case. And not for nothing, like MMA Fighting has MMA Fighting's global rankings, which is like obviously the best ranking site in the world. To an extent, I disagree with quite a bit of it, but it's objectively the best MMA rankings out there. You don't fight, you fall out of the rankings. So a lot of graphics I had to redo because people like rankings change, not for like because people were being inactive. So yeah, I got a lot of graphics in the chamber ready to go.
There was one graphic
Alexio Olenek's 50th pro win. I sat on for 2 years. 2 years.
We were all rooting for that. Yeah. We were all rooting for an Alexio Oleinik win just so you could drop that one. It got to that point where we just wanted that graphic to drop, and finally it did. It finally did. All right, we got the face-off here. We get a glove touch, and here we go. We're about to get Anthony Pettis versus Chris Avila. We'll let you... Again, we don't have the bells and whistles yet, but I'll run down the first few seconds. A little countdown so we can all link up together if you're watching, and if you're not watching, understandable. We'll do our best to tell you what the hell's going on. And ref's about ready to get him going. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ding, ding, ding. Here we go. All right. Round 1 of 6, 255, 254, 253, 252, 251, 250 in round 1. There we go. Avila throwing a little bit of that jab out there.
On an unrelated note, in terms of technique, I love white socks and white sneakers in the boxing cage. In the boxing ring.
Why?
It just looks clean. I think it looks super clean. Like I like baseball players that wear white pants and white cleats. I just think it looks really clean.
I like that as well.
I like monochromed style, like black pants, black shoes, or white pants, white shoes, red pants, red shoes.
As expected, we are clinching against the ropes here, and we get our first break. A little less than a minute into round one. That is a clean look. It's very very Converse 80s basketball commercial.
Tell you what it is. You know some NorCal, they're wearing those high white Nike socks.
Yeah. I miss the days of baseball where I remember when I played like travel Babe Ruth ball, we had to have our uniform all looking the same. So we all had the high knees and the high socks. Couldn't wear the baggy ones, couldn't let the bottom of the baseball pants get to the cleats.
That wasn't really a fad, the baggy pants, until Manny Ramirez started doing it.
Yeah.
And then after that, everyone wanted to do it, rightfully so.
Appreciate the answer. Just seems weird.
What's weird?
The Habib stuff.
Oh,
that's not going.
Oh, it's very weird. It's a very weird thing going on, but we're not just gonna be irresponsible and start putting stuff out there without all the information.
Yeah. Trust me, we've got it. We've been getting after it, but we just haven't gotten enough.
Yeah.
Who's next for Islam Makhachev?
I mean, it should be Armin, but
I'll say it again, if it is not Armin, we are gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a big problem. That is gonna be a reaction pod you are not gonna want to miss.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If Michael Chandler gets a title shot over Armin Tsarukyan,
if Michael Chandler gets a title shot over Armin
gasket.
Tsarukyan, it's going to be a lot of factors. Like Islam just wants to be active, and like Dustin Poirier gets one win and he gets a title shot because Islam he wanted to fight in June. If he wants to fight in October and Armin is just for whatever reason suspended or not ready, or the UFC wants to make it up to Chandler, and and Islam's like, I'll fight whoever, just give me a date, and it happens to be Chandler, whatever.
I'll be so mad.
Yeah, it's very silly.
Pettis landing a jab, a little jab to the chest there. Avila doing pretty well defensively here. And there you go. I mean, just a pretty feeling out.
Yeah.
Round one there. Sean O'Malley, by the way, doing some commentary. I've heard
pretty good.
Great reviews.
He's very good. I'm not a fan of how he's like, I could get in there and like I wish I could get in there with these guys because I could beat these guys. I'm like,
I didn't hear that. I'm glad I didn't.
It was the fight earlier on that it was like a lackluster win against two actual boxers, and he's like, watching these guys, I feel like I could get in there and just dust them. I was like, respect for the honesty, or like believe in yourself, but like, hey, Tabitha Ricci.
Yeah, look at that. It's the what's his name?
Couldn't tell.
Hookah, the wide receiver for the Rams.
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah, offensive rookie of the year.
Yep. Trumbo, have New York Tourists taken over the Berkshires yet? I'm not in the Berkshires anymore.
That's right.
I'm not in the Berkshires. I'm in South Carolina now. Been here for a few years, so I assume no. I assume they will be there in September. That's damn sure to watch all the foliage. All right, round two, 240, 239, 238. That first round went pretty much how you most would have drawn it out. Just a very even fight between two MMA guys boxing. It's not bad boxing.
No.
Ooh, Pettis, nice right hand.
It's interesting because like Anthony Pettis is obviously from a Taekwondo background, so his bread and butter was a lot of kicking, and he is an incredibly elite black belt in jiu-jitsu. I don't think he gets enough. Like tapped out Charles Oliveira, tapped out Gilbert Melendez. Like these are some of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in lightweight history. Charles, arguably the best ever. Obviously, I think that fight was a featherweight though, right? The Pettis Charles Oliveira fight.
Was it at 45?
I think it was.
Must have been, because that's what got him the title shot, right?
Probably. But regardless,
and then he missed weight for the title shot.
Regardless, like Anthony Pettis is such an underrated guy. Like he had that jiu-jitsu match against Jorge. Jorge's an underrated jiu-jitsu guy too. He just never uses it. They never have to.
Good left by Pettis.
I think that Pettis versus Dustin Poirier is an underrated banger too, because that was like a proper they mixed the martial arts.
A little hockey fighting going on here. Ooh, Avila, nice. Ooh, right hand over the top. Ooh, Pettis answers. All right, this is getting good.
But what I meant, where I was going with that is Pettis fully understands distance control and striking. Like, even though he can't kick, this is his bread and butter. Just distance, sticking to the jab, moving, getting out of the way, getting out of danger, high fight IQ.
Got a clinch in the middle. Now we're throwing. And I got to say, Anthony Pettis has done a tremendous job prize fighting. Man has made some money. Even when he had a tough final run, final stretch of fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Dude got out of there and he's making probably made more money outside of the UFC than he made in it.
And more importantly, excuse me, when I interviewed him after his karate combat went over Benson Henderson, he made it clear, like, me and the UFC are still cool. Like, I can go, they left the door wide open for me. So he didn't burn any bridges, just went out there and made a whole bunch of money. Still a big name.
18 seconds to go here in round one. Very, very even. Oh, good right hand from Pettis.
This is a good fight.
Avila's a left. Yeah.
This is a good fight.
It's good pace.
These guys are just
one thing about Chris, man.
Forehead.
It's one thing about Chris. He ain't a body guy. He looks like he's a little soft around the midsection, but much like Nate and Nick and all those guys, gas tank forever. Never stops. There's the legend Stitch Duran in the corner, getting Chris all figured out there. Good fight. Pettis making as much as Masvidal is making for the disclosed pay. We know, obviously, all these guys are making more. Yes. You think Nate Diaz is doing this for $500,000, and if you think Jorge Masvidal is doing this for $350,000, y'all crazy. Excellent point. Avila moving like Strickland at moments with the shuffle. Pettis not that big of a name anymore. Dude's making money like he's a name, so none of that even matters.
Like, you can't in any MMA. Who's a big name in MMA in general? Connor,
Jon Jones,
Sean O'Malley for a certain generation of fans, demographic of fans. Israel for a certain demographic of fans. But after that, there's not a big name, especially if you're not in the UFC. I don't know anyone tuning in being like, "Oh, Friday night, Cedric Doumbé's fighting." Cedric Doumbé is one of the most exciting fighters in all of combat sports right now. And I can Alex Pereira's on his way. I think Alex Pereira could get there.
Absolutely.
He needs to take a break physically, but
does he though? Yeah. I mean, he does.
Who would he fight next? Who's he going to fight next?
Pereira?
Yeah, it should be Ankalaev. It should be.
I want to see that fight, man.
So do I.
I want to see it. But it's really whatever. Honestly, I think he's got so much money in the piggy bank right now. He can cash that shit on whatever he wants, man.
I also get this sense that did you see his when I'm going to say his tweet, because I can't picture a world where Alex Pereira tweeted that out himself when he was responding to Anthony Joshua. He's like, "Oh, I'm 37. I can't really be a boxer right now." He's fully aware that he's not in the prime of for all we know, Alex Pereira has no limit to his prime years, but he's not getting younger, and he seems to be a guy that wants to fight all the time, obviously. Yeah. So he might just next man up, don't care. Ankalaev, let's do it.
I mean, I'd like to see that, but actually, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it would be smart to just do it.
To do what?
But do Pereira versus Jones. If it's that, if they book the Stipe fight and it falls through, and John doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall.
If John beats Stipe, vacates the heavyweight title and goes and fight Alex Pereira at heavyweight, and then the winner of Aspinall Blades just becomes elevated to the undisputed title, great. Don't care. Yeah. I don't want two belts floating around and them not fight each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does. Which
John,
is why I hated the putting an interim title
no,
in that fight to begin with, because it
no.
makes no sense.
I think the only downside to that is that scenario I just laid out is I think the selling point of Alex fighting Jon is Alex going for his third belt.
Yeah.
Regardless.
That's literally it.
In other news though, this fight between Anthony Pettis and Chris Avila slaps. These dudes are just throwing.
They're just throwing shots.
No body shots. They're all just ripping
Nothing.
to the head. They're blocking punches with their foreheads.
And Chris Avila is just raising his arms in the air at the end of every round.
Sure, why not?
Like he always does. It's great.
Also, speaking of Jon Jones, I learned this week that Jon Jones has me blocked on Instagram, and I don't know why.
Jon Jones has you blocked?
Yeah, I have no idea why. The only thing I've ever done to Jon Jones is say he's the most talented fighter I've ever seen. I've said that multiple times on multiple shows. And then I clicked on
Diaz and Masvidal warming up in the dressing room.
I clicked on Jon Jones' Instagram, and it was like, this is unavailable for you. And I was like, why? Yep. Can't. I don't know why. All I did was, say he was the most talented fighter ever. He also has me blocked on Twitter, but he's had me blocked on Twitter for like 12 years.
That's so weird.
He has me blocked on. I know why he has me blocked on. There's Sergio, former Bellator champ.
There's Sergio Pettis, yep.
I know he has me blocked on Twitter because I think I tweeted something like 12 years ago when I first started covering MMA, and it wasn't any. It was like an article. Like I wrote an article about Jon Jones, and then fans got in an argument in my Twitter thread, like in my mentions, and someone like tagged Jon Jones in the argument, so he just blocked everybody in the thread, which is I can't nothing I can do about that. I don't know why he has me blocked on Instagram.
It's super weird. Very like once in a while, Chris Cyborg will have me blocked on Instagram, and I have no idea why.
I'm not offended by it. I'm just confused.
Yeah, I mean, like if I say mean things, like I get it, but
maybe he mistook me for Mike Bond, which would be worse than being blocked. I love you, Mike. That was a joke. I love you, Mike.
Round 4, 2 minutes left here. I mean,
this is an awesome.
They're just chucking them. Like they're just chucking them.
An awesome fight, guys. If you're not watching this, like,
yeah, they're just throwing at each other.
Literally, their defense is getting punched in the face. They are slinging. This fight rules. I wish this fight was 10 rounds.
This is an interesting question. Mike, you're DJing a wedding. The groom wants an MMA-themed playlist. What's your go-to tune to cap the set? To cap the set? See, here's the thing about DJing weddings, my friends. I don't get to play whatever I want. For the most part, like there's certain guidelines that I have to adhere to. But usually, if we're talking the capper, that is 100% the bride and groom's choice. That's the one you send everybody home to. But I kind of feel like Face the Pain would be like the one.
Dude.
It's a no-brainer.
You know what I realized? So I was at UFC 300, right? You obviously watched UFC 300, did your watch long party. I remember when there was a time when every time Face the Pain played, MMA media and like diehard fans would complain about it. Like, oh, this is, the band doesn't even exist anymore. It's like, let's move on from Face the Pain. Like this song sucks and this and that. And then it went away. Kind of like what was it? Quiet quit. They were just like, Face the Pain just did quiet quitting and just kind of, they phased it out. And then at UFC 300, they played Face the Pain with the black and white like promos that they used to do. I tell you what, I got incredibly hyped.
It was awesome.
Incredibly hyped. When Yuri Prohaska and Alexander Ratchik, they grayed him out and they were like, on Saturday, I'm going to beat up Anthony Ratchik. Rakic, and then it's all of a sudden it goes into Face the Pain with the highlights. I was sold. I'm like, bring it back.
It was great.
Bring it back. Bring it.
Avila.
Whoa. Chris Avila and like Anthony Pettis like eats a shot to the jaw and then rips a body shot. This is the best fight of the night. This might be the best boxing match I've seen between two MMA guys in terms of excitement.
Yeah,
in recent memory.
Mike, what'd you think of His Excellency and Dana holding hands, power moves? I mean, it's what you do in Saudi, man.
You can just see Dana White's soul leave his body right when it happened.
There was a lot about Turkey that made Dana's soul leave his body. It was great. That interview at the end of the Saudi card when John Anik's interviewing both of them. And every time John asks Turkey a question, Turkey's basically like looking at Dana and demanding things for the next one. It was great. And just watching Dana being like, can't really say much here because they're paying us millions of dollars to come here and do shows. Yes, we should do that. This guy loves the sport. He's great.
Yeah, like when you're stuff. And also, here's a secret. When you are in someone else's country, especially in the Middle East, you normally can't say no to a lot of things.
Yes, very true. All right, round 5. Exciting fight. Pettis coming out. Lots of jabs. Ooh, that was a real good jab from Pettis.
This fight rules so much.
And Avila just continues to move forward. Oh, nice left hand. Pettis answers.
Anthony Pettis is doing like that duck in straight jab to the body. And Avila is like looping in with that Mike Tyson head bop and then coming over the top. It's great. I love this fight. This has been a blast. Wow. They're like their defense is getting punched in the face.
Yeah. I mean, there's like if you're here looking for high level, sweet science, you're not getting it here. You're not getting it. You're just getting two dudes chucking them.
Sometimes you just need a slobber knocker.
This is how it's like. This is old school helmet boxing right here, where you just throw the gloves on, you put a hockey mask on, and you just throw until somebody falls down.
And no one's been dropped.
We're getting here.
No one's been dropped.
Both these dudes keeping that good chin. Little right hand from Chris. Pettis answers.
Has Pettis ever been knocked cold in MMA? Not to my knowledge.
Knocked cold?
Like knocked out. He's been choked out and like. I know he's been.
I don't remember him getting like deaded in a fight.
I know he's been tapped. I know he's been hurt. Like the Poirier fight, like he broke his ribs in the middle of the fight. I know he got like, what was it? A twister or a knee bar or something. And Stevie Ray. I know he got tapped by Diego Ferreira. I know
Max like finished him with strikes, but he didn't kill him. Like he didn't dead him.
And then the Tony Ferguson loss was the corner threw in the towel, so that's technically a TKO.
Yeah.
I know the Max Holloway was like a body shot and then like ground and pound, but I don't remember. Like Anthony Pettis might have like a low key, incredibly underrated chin.
Yeah. Did your stream just freeze?
Nah, mine's crystal.
Son of a bitch. There we go. We're back. Just a little refresh. 36, 35, 34 if you're watching along. Oh, Avila. You can see they're I mean, obviously they've thrown 800 punches each, so you can expect a little
the MMA fighting staff doesn't seem to like this fight.
Am I missing something?
Me, I don't know. They're just saying they're bad boxers. I'm like, yeah, they are. It's great.
Like, what did you expect?
It's two MMA fighters just whipping punches at each other. I'm here for it.
Wow.
I'm having a blast.
I'm having a great time watching this fight.
We had two pro boxers fight earlier that put on a bad fight. Put on two MMA fighters.
God, this is hilarious. You ever see Danny Bonaducci box? Who hasn't is the question. Those old celebrity boxing shows. Yeah, boy, was that so ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah.
Like way before its time. That show would have been the highest rated show on Fox in 2024. Let's see. Ooh, bam! Nasty little left uppercut from Chris Avila. All right, round 6, everybody. We should put up a poll. All right, round 6. Sean O'Malley's hyped. All right, we get a glove touch before. A lot of show respect here. 254, 253, 252, round number 6. Pettis to the short little left hand. The MMA Fighting Slack channel is tremendous.
Yeah, but
It's true, Pettis.
the MMA fighting staff, I love y'all. You have bad opinions a lot.
We're getting polls up on YouTube, and I have no idea how they're getting there. Are you putting the polls up?
I assume AK or someone is watching along with us and throwing them in there.
All right, cool. All right, sick.
Oh man, who needs technique when you can
Respect.
just sling punches from like the bleachers?
Yeah, I mean, do we want Anthony Pettis and Chris Avila
Did we better
to
question,
box
better
beautifully
question,
tonight?
Did you all expect Anthony Pettis and Chris Avila to go out there and put on a like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather fight? No, I wanted people to just throw stuff.
Who do you guys think is winning this fight? This is very, very close. 3 or 4 Ghost thinks it's Chris.
I'd be curious because obviously I don't have the commentary on, so I'd be curious what I don't know what they're saying. I haven't really seen an unofficial score yet either, unless they put it up and I missed it.
Yeah, who are they going to go to? The Josh Thompson unofficial score would be real interesting to watch. 90 seconds left. Some people saying it's a draw. They're still getting after it. Pace is not really slowing down here. Apparently, Sean O'Malley took a shot at Power Slap on the broadcast.
Whatever.
Final minute and change. Mauro Ranallo is having a good time watching. Oh, good left hand from Pettis. Oh, good right from Avila. Oh, another right hand from Chris.
I think Pettis is landing the more power shots, but Avila just has not stopped throwing.
Yeah. Chris is charging in. Big combination. Oh, rip to the body. Left hand over the top. Pettis having a hard time finding him now. Chris marching forward. Final 28 seconds. Multiple votes for Chris thus far.
I think Chris is winning.
I think so too. Oh, uppercut to the body. Very nice. Pettis back in the corner. Oh, he lands a good shot. And there's a nice left hand. Chris answers back with the left of his own. Pettis with a combination. And they both fake. And that's it. That'll do it. All right, we're going to go to the cards. A lot of people feel like Chris Avila's won this one. I think we know. Oh, the Slack channel rules. This fight's better than our Slack channel is saying. I think Avila won, but who knows? He's hurt. It's over. We'll see. Lazy Bad. So McGregor put $500K on Nate to win. You think that's his genuine opinion or sly business play to make himself look better? The other question is, did he actually place that bet?
I don't know. He also tagged a betting partner, like a business partner or a sponsor deal. So I'd be curious if that's even his money he's betting. Regardless, this
It's like Drake bets.
Yeah, this Avila Pettis fight, I'm curious if this is one of those fights that is way better without the commentary. Like if we had turned the commentary on, we'd be like, all right.
I was thinking this pretty much the same thing.
Or like Casey said, there were no mics in the octagon, the ring, so like you couldn't really hear the punches like you do in a normal boxing match. I don't know. I personally, watching this fight with no audio, had a very good time.
I had a great time. Oh, we're gonna get the cards. Here we go.
Don't worry. And next MMA fighting preview show, they'll be like, "We love bad heavyweight MMA," and then they'll crap on this fight.
Here we go. Unanimous. 58-56. 59-55. 59-55 for Chris Avila wins. Unanimous decision. Man, what's he, 7-1?
Something like that, yeah.
Damn.
He just knows how to be a weird boxer.
Just getting it done.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian Campbell, multiple-time BTL competitor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beat me, and his answer was no answer.
Incredible.
I've already.
I don't even know how to answer this. Yeah, maybe the Just Bleed guy. That was his answer. And he wins.
I already accepted. No matter what happens, I will never win. I'm just there so I don't get fined.
You have wins. You have
Not,
wins.
Conor McGregor has a more recent UFC win than I do on BTL, probably.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Thank you, Joshua. Any stakes to the main event, Jose?
I think the stakes are the winner's next fight will be a bigger deal. You know?
Fair.
Like if Jorge wins and he fights Chael, it will be Jorge. You always want to like the Nate Diaz Jake Paul fight was so much bigger than it probably should have been, because Nate was coming off the win in the UFC and he quote unquote beat the UFC at their own game and took that fight on short notice, beat Tony Ferguson, went out on a win when they were trying to get him mauled by Hamzat. And then Jake Paul was coming off a loss to Tommy Fury. So it was like Jake Paul's coming off a loss, Nate Diaz coming off a win. Can Nate Diaz, expose him some more? And that made it bigger. If Jorge comes off a win and fights Chael Sonnen, it's inevitably gonna, lead to more interest. If Nate Diaz wins and then fights an actual boxer, another MMA guy, it'll just, because if Nate loses, it's 0-2 in boxing, and one of them he's to an MMA fighter who is 0-0. Like, how do you sell another Nate Diaz boxing match unless he's fighting a massive name like a Jake Paul or a Logan Paul or a KSI or whoever, which I don't think he would do. Like, he's talking about fighting Triple G, which is never going to happen.
Insanity. Absolutely. What is the appetite for Masvidal versus Chael, though? Like, do you think there's any appetite for that? Like, for real?
Yeah, I sure do.
You think so?
I sure do, because I saw.
Would it get more buzz than this week has gotten?
Yeah. Yeah.
No shit.
Because Chael Sonnen will show up to a press conference.
That's true.
Chael Sonnen will do the thing. Like, these guys have already fought. Chael Sonnen is like a heavyweight, and Jorge Masvidal fought a 170. Chael Sonnen was promoting a fight against Jorge Masvidal while he was preparing to fight Anderson Silva.
Steven, have you guys kept track with Shakur?
I haven't.
The Shakur Stevenson fight. I haven't either. Let's see.
Danny Jacobs.
Trying to see if we got anything going on. Are they fought? Like, I think they're fighting. I think the fight's happening right now. I don't know. We're doing this with all of you guys. Daniel Jacobs versus Shane Mosley Jr. coming up next, and then it's main event time.
If Danny Jacobs loses, which I'm picking Mosley Jr. to win, if Danny Jacobs loses, he should probably ride off into the sunset. He's got nothing left to prove in this sport.
But he missed weight too, I believe.
He's a man, dude.
Not that it really matters, but shout out to Linda. Shout out to Ricardo. What else we got? Shakur is up. All right, by a lot. Okay. Thank you, MG Cerna. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, like I said, Shakur Stevenson is one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world.
Hear me out. BC and Jet opened a chain of gas stations across the South and into the Northern Atlantic, serving hot food and Red Bull. I mean, those two guys, just the radio ads that those two guys could do would be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. You have infinitely more charisma than I do.
Dave appreciates it, but not that much to super chat.
That's very funny. Hey, man. Go buy yourself a Polar Pop, maybe, an Eskimo sandwich, and save your money.
100% Diaz Masvidal goes the distance, 8 is solid chin and 0 KO power, but he wobbled Leon. Wobbled isn't a KO. It's true.
Cool. Still lost.
Back at the desk, because who wants to watch fighting at midnight? Oh, we're getting right into it. Just as I say that, it's time.
Josh Thompson's fought both of the guys in the main event. I know he's the only guy to knock out Nate.
Yep.
And did he fight Jorge in Strikeforce? Probably.
It had to have been Strikeforce. All right. A little super middleweight action. How old's Daniel Jacobs? 37? 38? Is he older than
Josh
that?
Thompson has never fought Jorge Masvidal.
He hasn't? I thought he
Never.
did.
Never. He's fought Gilbert Melendez about 1,000 times. And I loved every single one of them, to be fair.
Josh was fun as shit, man.
There was a point in
He's a
time
very
when Josh was when his first run in the UFC, where Josh was like the best could have been the best lightweight in the world, and like Eve Edwards head kicked him. When at the time, for years, that was what's the greatest knockout ever. Like that was one of the answers. Obviously, it's been surpassed probably multiple times this year.
What is the knockout of the year this year so far in your opinion?
Is
it Max?
It's Max or Eddie Hall.
Yeah, Eddie Hall's a great shout. Or Pereira. I mean Pereira's damn good too.
But there's Alex Pereira, like head kicking Yuri's one thing, but suplexing a man while you're getting knee barred or while someone's trying to knee bar you, power bombing him, defending a takedown, and then knocking this fool out and then chasing after the other guy. Come on. How is that not on your top? Here's the thing. If MMA fighting staff put in votes for Francis Ngannou for MMA Fighter of the Year in 2023, a man who had 0 MMA fights in 2023, Eddie Hall should get votes for Knockout of the Year.
He probably should. He might get votes for the Fighter of the Year.
I mean, Alex Pereira's got to run away with it right now.
But he might get votes. He might be in the top 5.
He might. Yeah, but if you're talking about just MMA, like UFC, like a high level pro MMA, how do you not give it to Max? That might be the greatest knockout in the history of MMA.
I don't know if that's true, but it was very cool.
I don't know. I'm not ready to declare it the greatest ever.
No.
But if someone came to me and said that's the best knockout I've ever seen, I will not argue it.
Yeah. I think we landed on, it's not like the best knockout of all time, but it's like it might be the coolest moment we've ever seen.
Yeah. And the front kick is great.
The coolest moment.
The front kick is great.
Yeah. Here he comes. Daniel Jacobs. What else we got going on here? Let's take a look at the chat. Remember George getting subbed that crazy way in Bellator? That was what the frig was his name? Who got that submission?
Who? Say it again.
Yeah, the Masvidal sub in Bellator.
Oh, Toby Imada.
Toby Imada. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah,
it was on the tip of my tongue. Toby Imada and another name in my head, and I couldn't put 2 and 2 together. Are Mike Heck, José Youngs, Johnny again, Kenny Florian, the Mount Rushmore of Massachusetts MMA media?
Well, there's one problem with that sentence. I am not from Massachusetts.
Rephrase.
New England. I'm not putting myself on any Mount Rushmore, But the other 2 gentlemen can for sure be up there. Like you'd have to include Nolan King, our colleague over at MMA.
Yeah, Nolan deserves some shouts.
But like Kenny Florian and Anik waved the flag for Massachusetts like no one else.
That's true. Especially Anik.
Yeah. They got him hyped on the Celtics on the red carpet in the Hall of Fame. he started screaming and everyone looked over like, what's going on over there? I'm like, oh, nothing.
So
he's getting hyped over Banner 18.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Some Josh Thompson praise. Josh's record doesn't do him justice. A lot of decisions that could have went either way and some splits. You're right.
He's like Danny Castillo. Danny Castillo could have had a ton of 7 more wins. Danny Castillo have 7 or 8 more wins under his resume. Same as Courtney Casey. Same as Angela Hill. It's just that generation of fighters that are down to fight whoever. I know the Bobby Green, the Benson Henderson, the 4th or 3rd Gill fight. Those are all split decision losses for Josh. They could have gone either way. The Tony Ferguson fight, he kind of got run over. But
yep. Jimmy Lennon doing the intros. While we wait, if you guys have questions, throw them in. We'll even throw it out there. Who wins the main event? Let's see. Masvidal, Diaz, who gets it done? Does Masvidal go to 2-0? Can Nate get one back? If Nate wins, what do they do? Do they go again? Do we run it back? Go for round 3? Try to settle the score? Is there another smaller hometown outside of Stockton that's been popularized by MMA in a similar manner? Danbury, Connecticut, baby. Danbury's starting to grow some legs. Glover and Pereira.
Tom River.
Tom's River, New Jersey is a good one.
Now, I'm confident when I say I think Stockton probably has a population of like 300,000, I want to say. And I'm willing to bet Westland, Oregon does not even have 100,000 people living in there.
I bet Stockton has more people than the entire county in Massachusetts I lived in for the last 10 years before I moved.
Yeah. So yes.
Very possible.
So those are all great answers.
The Danbury, Connecticut shout. Every time I hear Chuck Minden, because Chuck Mindenhall is like from that area too, so he'll like just go to the grocery store and he'll randomly see like Glover Teixeira and Alex Pereira like walking around town. It's very funny. And everybody knows Glover. Glover's kind of like the mayor of Danbury, and people still don't unanimously recognize Alex Pereira, which I think is the funniest friggin' thing. Shout out to Steven. Have either of you followed the Euros or Copa? Also, how dare you forget about Bettendorf, Iowa, hometown bias and Milicic. Yeah,
the Milicic fight system. That's a good shout. That's like the OG. That is the original super camp. That's a good shout.
That's a great one.
The Copas and Euros I have not followed much at all. Like I follow kind of from a distance. Once Mexico and the U.S. got eliminated, I kind of unchecked. But I know Canada's in the semifinals. They're playing Messi, so that should be a rough night. And I've never really paid attention to the Euros outside of various MMA media days where British fighters talk about or European fighters talk about the Euros.
Cigar, Mike, how much of a super chat do you want me to send you? $150,000. How about that?
Yeah.
Whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. I mean, you can't ask me questions like that. $1 billion. All right, we're underway here. Round 1 of 10. And this could very well go all 10. I mean, you could tell these dudes are like legit pro box. Like the shorts alone just scream it.
These are very different from the last fight we just watched. This is like when Greg Hardy fought in the co-main event, and then the fight right after was Henry Cejudo, TJ Dillashaw. Like you can tell who is a high-level martial artist and who is not.
That's hilarious. First round, just a lot of feeling out here. I met Tim Sylvia when I was there in high school. Wow. The stories you could probably tell, Steven. When is the Diaz fight on? After this fight, which just started. And we have 10 rounds, so probably not till 1 a.m., 1:15 at this point. Probably where we're at. Sean O'Malley weighing in. Just jabbing away. And everyone's looking forward to, especially on this channel, anyone here right now, you're looking forward to Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, part 2.
Is it part 2? Do we call it that? Diaz Masvidal 2 if it's a totally different sport.
I know. I haven't, like when I've labeled things and written things up, I have very rarely used the 2. I think I used it for like the watch party post.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't normally put much stock into it. I just ask usually one of the editors on site and say, what are we doing here? Like that was the big question I had when Moreno and Pantoja fought. Is this a trilogy, or do we count the first fight because the first one was an exhibition on the Ultimate Fighter?
Yes, good point. We got what was the other one? Now we have the conundrum for September. Is it UFC 306? Do we call it Noche UFC? Do we call it Riyadh Season Noche UFC? What do we do? Will there be a 306? Is that 306 still? Will that count as 306? I don't know. Lots of questions. Random question. Who's the UFC GOAT? My opinion, it's Jon Jones. He literally beat everyone worth mentioning over the last 15 years. Stipe is next, and he'll submit Alex as fast as he did Gane after Stipe. So, Half Done Chevy says Jon Jones, then Stipe, number 2 on the GOAT list, which I got to be honest with you. I'm not saying it's a bad shout. You don't hear many of those during Stipe's number 2 all time, pound for pound, in the history of the UFC.
Yeah. I mean,
it's high praise.
I think the greatest fighter of all time is George St. Pierre, but I think the most talented fighter I've ever seen is Jon Jones.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to go against Jon right now.
If Jon beats Stipe and then, fights Tom Aspinall or the winner of Blades Aspinall and beats them, I'm ready to crown him the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Fully on board.
Wiz Khalifa.
Mm-hmm.
Getting some shine here.
PFL ambassador Wiz Khalifa.
Yes. Touche.
And his very
not a rematch if it's a different sport.
That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good with either way. I just wanted to know what people are going with.
Which fight is next? It'll be the main event after this one. We have 9 more rounds of this co-main event potentially. And then it's the main event. Some Nate Diaz fans in the building. Hi, gents. Interested to hear your thoughts. In a different world where cross-promotion exists, how would a fight between Vadim Nemkov and Alex Pereira go?
Wow, what a fight I've never thought of in my life. That's so interesting.
I'd would definitely watch.
I feel like Alex Pereira is on one of those lists now where I'll watch him fight anybody.
Oh, right now? Sure.
Nemkov is so good.
He's very, very good.
He's so good at wrestling and so good at grappling.
Pereira just has the ultimate equalizer, man.
He does.
Just needs to hit you once, and it's done.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
get it, man. But Nemkov is I'm confident when I say this. I don't think this is a controversial take. I think Nemkov is a better, more well-rounded MMA fighter. Just the big strength that Alex Pereira has is he can turn you off with one touch. If Vadim Nemkov tackles you and holds and takes you down, that might be a tough fight. Also, not for nothing, Nemkov is not the biggest light heavyweight. He was like 6 feet. It would be different if they fought him. Like Nemkov could probably cut to middleweight. It would be a bad cut, but he was like Fedor. Fedor should have been a light heavyweight.
Mike and Jose, do you think this pay-per-view has been worth the money?
I mean, it's a subjective question. I don't know. Let's wait till the main event happens.
I mean, let's just sort of run down what we've had so far. We got kind of a showcase fight that was a little bit closer than some people thought it would be with Devin Cushing. Amado Vargas and Sean Garcia was really fun. We got Carmel Moton just annihilating a guy in a round and a half. And then Chris Avila versus Anthony Pettis was pretty fun. So, yeah, I would say so far so good. I'd feel pretty good about it. But there's different ways to watch it. Again, maybe you watch the commentary and you're not a fan of the commentary, and that took it down a little bit. Maybe you're expecting Anthony Pettis and Chris Avila to be this like 2 butterflies floating around and having a boxing match.
Nah.
And it would be aesthetic beauty all the way around, which is not what we got there. The two just beat the shit out of each other. Masvidal fan here. Sick.
Cool, man.
Nemkov gasses after 5 minutes. I don't know.
Nemkov is very good. Very, very good. Let's not forget his last fight was at heavyweight. And before that, he fought Yoel Romero for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a tough task for anybody.
What have you guys thought about the production? I've been impressed and enjoyed the video packages. With the Fight Pass connection, is UFC production involved? I don't think they're involved.
No.
Fanmio does a good job. I mean, like, no one cared. I mean, actually, it's by the time the fight actually went down, the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight, I mean, everybody seemed to care for some reason. Just it just seemed like the thing to do that night. But Van Mio produced that one as well, and it looked damn good.
It's much better than BKFC and PFL production.
Yeah. But let me just say, I don't want BKFC production to be this. No. It just doesn't sit right. PFL tries to be like really
PFL
good
needs
production.
PFL needs to learn how to white balance. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, they need to learn how to do.
It bothers me. Yeah, they got great fighters. They got a great roster of fighters, but production wise, they got some. Oh, man, Danny Jacobs with that right hook to the face.
Yeah, real nice. Damn. Mosley came out firing in round 3. All right, let's see what's going on here. Jab to the body from Mosley. What have you made of Jacobs thus far in this one?
I mean, this is a very close fight, obviously. Mosley, obviously, is probably landed way more jabs. And Jacobs is just a step behind. He's not being overpowered. For every 2 punches Mosley lands, Jacobs will land 1. It's just this is a fight against. This is just 2 different generations of fighters.
Yeah, very low percentages thus far. Yeah. 16 of 116 for Mosley, 11 of 73 for Jacobs so far.
Yeah, because they're not whipping him in there. They're like picking their shots.
Yeah. Mosley just Jacobs is doing sort of the Tyron Woodley thing where he just kind of has his back against the ropes, playing defense and then looking for an opening to counter. And Mosley's just landing a few different combinations. So, but it's been pretty much this for 3 rounds thus far. A lot of people asking when the Nate fight is. It is after this one. It's 3 rounds. This is supposed to go scheduled for 10. Between Jacobs and Mosley, and as soon as that's done, and as soon as we get the rest of the pomp and circumstance, then this will happen. I would say 1:15 a.m. Eastern time, I would guess, is when that fight will begin, but maybe it won't. Maybe it'll start sooner. It's a nice jab from Jacobs. Another one. Mosley's real quick, man.
Mosley's so good. Danny Jacobs is, like I said, Danny Jacobs is he's an IBF champion. Anytime you win an IBF title, that's a tough task. I can't remember WBC, WB. I can't remember the other belt. But he's a 2-time. He had 2 belts. I believe he fought Triple G too. So he's one of the better fighters of the last 10 years in this weight class. Father Time is just undefeated.
Yeah. Couple jabs from Mosley. Another one. It's like 4 unanswered jabs. Oh, good one return from Jacobs. Jacobs doing a nice job just kind of holding his position. As long as he's not getting pushed backwards, Jacobs is scoring.
Yeah.
But when he gets pushed against that ropes, man.
If I remember correctly, I don't know Shane Mosley's opponents off the top of my head.
Oh, that was an overhand right from Jacobs. That was crazy.
Like, I want to say Danny Jacobs has 3 losses, maybe 4. And 3 of them are to Canelo, Triple G, and John Ryder, who are... Canelo is, I think, the only guy happening right now that him and Usyk, Crawford, Inoue will be there as, like, they will go down as, like, icons of the sport.
Yeah.
And Danny Jacobs pretty much only loses to icons. John Ryder is not on that level, but, you know, John Ryder has like 50 fights in his career. He's fought a who's who. And I think that was his last loss. And like I said, Father Time is undefeated.
A lot of people reacting to Connor at least saying he put a $500,000 bet on Nate.
Also, if I remember correctly, Danny Jacobs had like bone cancer at one point in his life.
Yeah, he's had a road. He's been out. He's had quite a bit of a layoff, right?
I think 22 is when he lost to John Ryder, and then John Ryder, John Ryder lost to Jaime Munguia, and then Munguia fought Canelo.
Yeah. Round 4. Oh, Mosley with a nice right hand.
And then just,
And there's Senior.
Also talk about greatest ever. He's up there.
Oh, man. He's enjoying it.
I think.
Big smirk on his face.
Yeah. That fight against he's the one that, oh man, if he could have beaten Floyd when they fought. He's the one that I thought could have beaten Floyd.
Yeah. Nice jab from Jacobs. Mosley just, yeah, you said it, man. For like every punch Jacobs throws or every shot he lands, Mosley hits him like 4 times.
It's literally just like,
oh, another nice combo from Mosley.
Say Mosley is just younger and faster, and that is perfectly fine.
Like, even if I didn't know you're in New York, Jose, just hearing the cop sirens, I know you're in New York. There's just a certain sound to those sirens that is just you don't hear anywhere else in the country,
especially in the East Village.
Yep. Oh, Mosley looking real good here.
Only because I see a lot of people asking. The fight after this is the main event.
Yeah.
This is the co-main.
Just going to say that. Someone asking what the current betting odds are on the main events. Let me pull it up, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings. And they are currently at... Where the hell are they? It's off the board on DraftKings? Really? That's kind of weird. I'll find them for you. Let's see what the current odds are. I am not seeing these betting odds anywhere. As of like 10 hours ago, Masvidal is minus 275.
Mm-hmm.
And the comeback on day was plus 210. So, but I wonder if like they change it to an exhibition or something. A lot of people asking about Darren Till, who competed for the first time since losing to Dricus du Plessis at UFC 282. Social knockout 3 in Dubai. He won via TKO. Very weird ending to the fight, where Till landed like a little tiny, like I don't know if it's like a rabbit punch.
It was
but
absolutely
it
was absolutely a rabbit punch.
Fair. And his opponent, Mo Mati, I believe his name was.
Mo Moody or something like that.
Wanted the fight stopped or at least some sort of penalty, and the referee was like, nah, TKO.
I think they announced it that he couldn't continue. Like he couldn't, like the doctors were checking on him. It looked like he was dead.
But it was due to that shot, so it got ended, and then a brawl broke out, and you can check that all out at MMAfighting.com.
That's right.
So there you go. Someone wants to give us the sync time. We will give you that in a moment. Referee giving some instructions here, and then we're going to get a glove to round 5. We're at 255, 254, 253, 252, 251, 250. There you go. We are synced, in sync. And Mosley just continues to just land first and often against the wily veteran, Danny Jacobs, who can never count him out. The strike totals are very close. They're very, very close. Mosley is throwing a lot more, but according to the one-shot punching stats, Mosley's only landed 3 more punches in the whole fight, which seems crazy watching what I've been watching. Maybe Jacobs defensively has just been a juggernaut. Couple jabs from Jacobs. Oh, good right hand from Mosley. Jacob's starting to throw down a little bit more here. Did any of you guys in the chat watch Social Knockout 3? Curious. It was only $10. And I think if you actually watched it on, if you downloaded whatever app it was, if you watched it on your phone, it didn't cost you anything. Oh, almost got a little single leg takedown, a little ankle pick almost from Mosley Jr. That would have been fun. It's so weird going from Pettis, Avila to this. And then we're going right to Diaz, Masvidal. Good jab from Mosley. Another one. Jacobs answers with a jab of his own. LFA was on today, yes.
Yep.
Good round for Mosley
like,
so far.
Whenever LFA comes to New York, it's like in Niagara Falls, which is just not an easy place to get to from Manhattan when you have no car. And then whenever they were in Phoenix, I was never in Phoenix, but I love going to LFA fights.
Oh yeah, they're a great promotion. Very underrated. If LFA ever comes to your town, you need to go see them.
Yeah, I agree. You see a lot of UFC fighters in the crowd too.
Yeah. 20 seconds. Fury FC is a good promotion too, especially if you're in.
Yep.
If you're in Texas, they're all over the place in Texas.
Ring of Combat is a good one. Is that
Ring of Combat's a good one. And then up in New England, like Cage Titans always puts on really good events.
What's the one that's always in Rhode Island?
CS.
CS, yeah. See if
they've kind of lost some luster over the years.
Yeah. What's the
CFFC is a good one.
That's the one that John Morgan commentates, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, CFFC does a really good job.
Him and Punk.
They get a lot of fighters in the UFC, man.
Yeah, him and Punk,
yeah. Fatima Klein, who's a 2-division champion, is going to make her debut next Saturday for the UFC. She was supposed to be on the Contender Series. I remember talking to Klein's manager, and I was like, yeah, good for her, man, but there are certain fighters who I feel like should not be on the Contender Series. Just get a straight call. She's one of them. Like having Ikram Alascara fight on the Contender Series after what he had done was ridiculous to me. It was absolutely insanity.
I agree. I felt that way for a long time, and then I realized never going to change. So can't really put too much energy into it.
But Fatima gets her shot. She'll fight Jasmine Jasdavicius next week, which will be fun as hell. Round 6. We're at the 250 mark. And it's just been a tale of Mosley being way quicker and landing the jabs, finding a combination or two in each round. Jacobs playing some pretty sly defense from time to time, landing a shot or two that changes logistics a little bit. But yeah, it's been just the youth winning this one out here.
Shakur Stevenson wins, undefeated.
Decision?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to find out right now. I believe so.
There you go.
I just see and still, but obviously I'm not going to turn the commentary on.
There we are. All right, 2 minutes left here in round number 6. Mosley jabbing away.
Apparently fans are walking. Apparently fans are walking out of the Prudential Center, which is a bummer.
They're walking out of the Prudential Center?
I guess it's just because they thought the fight was boring, the Shakur Stevenson fight.
Oh, that's not the main event?
It is. They were walking out during the fight.
Oh, as the fight was going on. Okay. Yeah. I thought you meant like they were like right now walking out. I'm like, well, yeah, the fight's over.
Which is weird.
Like, is he Cannonierish? Almost.
Is he Romero?
Were people walking out of that?
No.
Incredible battle?
Really. No.
Is he Cannonier they were walking out?
This one's weird because Shakur Stevenson that's like his hometown. So the fact that his hometown crowd is walking out is not ideal. Tough. That's not how you get Tank Davis to take the fight.
Good rip to the body from Jacobs with 1:06 left in round number 6. But a 4-punch combo from Mosley. Good right hand left to the body. Jacobs tries to answer with the right hand over the top. And Jacobs jab it away, landing it over and over again. More jabs. He's just there all day for him. Jacob's got no answer for it. Jacobs to the body, Mosley, a couple more jabs. I mean, it's just so. Again, I've said this already, but
Lazy
Bet
has Lazy Bet has had some good questions. They just have nothing to do with MMA or boxing.
Lazy Bet makes you think.
I know. I just keep every time I look at the chat, I see another little fun one from him.
Final 10. Another jab from Mosley. That one missed. Combination just comes up short from Mosley. Couple quickies in there. Another jab. Jacobs throws a nice combination. Maybe landed a little late with that left hook, but no harm.
Have you ever been to the Pond, the Honda Center?
No.
It's great. I really like that arena. It's a beautiful arena. It's like a very fun environment. The UFC fights there are, I think they do a great job. I think boxing there is great. I've been to a Ducks game there. I wanted to go see the LA Kiss play. That was the AFL team. Yeah, I really like that arena. Easy parking. I know how to get around.
I think I've been to California like once in my whole life, and it was a really long time ago.
I used to live there.
California. Mark, any CGI or CJI, or ADCC coverage to look forward to? Something tells me we're going to be covering that a little bit this year.
I'm very disappointed. It's the CGI is the same day as the Perth card, I think.
It's 17th, isn't it? You're right.
And I'm very bummed out because I think I would have gone. I would have tried to go to that.
Oh, man. I'm sure we'll be covering it.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form.
Even if we don't do results, I would imagine
we'll have some highlights.
MMA Hour will probably have one or two of the contestants on there. You know,
I'm sure.
Craig Jones is big numbers for for the show.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get the other Rotolo on there.
Gabby Garcia.
Gabby.
Did you watch that press conference with those two?
I did not.
The virtual one. So they
incredible?
They both like just sat at a table with like a microphone. They each had microphones, and they would answer questions from like the comment section, or like it was literally just them at a table. It was like the most bootleg press conference ever, but it made it great, and it was amazing because Gabby and Craig are both trolls, and they just like trolled each other. Someone straight up asked from the comment section, it was Gabby, if you lose to Craig, will you marry him? And Gabby was just like, no, absolutely not. And then Craig Jones started to cry. It was great. I thought it was so good.
For those asking, we're halfway through round number 7, and I'd love to provide you with some different commentary, but we're pretty much seeing what we've been seeing for 7 rounds. Just good boxing. Mosley's just quicker. Just getting there first. Jacobs is valiantly fighting back. Started to get to the body a little bit more in round 7, which is good, which is a good strategy. It has somewhat slowed Mosley down a touch, but Mosley just jabbing his face off pretty much. But we're about 2.5 rounds away from this being over, and then it's on to the main events, which is why most of you are here. And for those who are just like, oh, we need play-by-play for all this, you'll get it for the main event, I promise you. And if any big moments happen here, we will tell you about it. How about that? The picture of her choking Craig against the wall was a comedic gem.
I'm so disappointed I'm not going to be there. I would have tried. I probably would have flown out and gone to that.
It's going to be fun. It's good to see like some of these. It's good to see the individual disciplines starting to get a little more shine. Like grappling starting to get a little bit with ADCC and CJI having their little battle right now, because you see what ADCC is doing, getting Faber and Bibiano and some of these other big names, Chad Mendez on there, and then CJI's doing their thing.
Did you see Holland Gracie's video about it? Talk about a blast from the past, right? He basically, it was like on another, God, I can't remember the last time I thought about this promotion. Remember Metamoris? He like basically was like, oh, like shout out Craig Jones for like standing up to the the big guys of jiu-jitsu and putting fighters first and this and that. And Hollick basically put out a challenge to anyone that wants to challenge him at CGI, and then he ends it with like all winnings will go to all proceeds will cover Metamoris debts. And I was like, oh my god, that's still going on. I'm like, that's still going on.
That's so oh, that's so good.
Like,
all right, round 8.
I'm not trying to throw Halleck under the bus. It's his post. He posted it. Go look at his Instagram or Metamoris' Instagram. I'm pretty sure they collabed on it, and I couldn't stop laughing only because I hadn't thought about that debacle in like 10 years.
Oh man, that's great. That's a great shout. All right, 30 seconds into round 8. Oh, Mosley starting to pick up the pace a little bit more here. Ooh, good combination from Mosley. Our own Casey Lyden in our Slack channel saying the crowd is getting restless right now.
I don't believe it.
No chance.
I say that.
Not a Diaz Masvidal crowd.
Yeah, for real, dog.
I think lessons will be learned with this fight week 4.
Here's the exact post that Metamoris and Holly Gracie posted. I'm reading this verbatim, guys. Okay. Finally, someone has prioritized.
Clash of heads.
Uh-oh, that's not what you want to see. Finally, someone has prioritized athlete pay again. The curse has been lifted, and Craig Jones, BJJ, is the new Robin Hood.
Oh,
ooh, that's bad.
That's a bad cut. This shit might be over. Oh, that's a bad cut.
You can't even open his eye.
Oh, it was a punch. Oh, there's the head. Okay. So there's a punch, then the head. Oh, that's tough. That's a bad cut, man. It's like right on the eyelid.
Ooh, it's like a grazing head, too.
Yep.
I mean, Danny Jacobs.
See what happens here. Oh, bad. Yeah. He's probably down at worst 6-1. At best 6-1. All right, doctor coming in. Let's get a few comments and questions. What are the odds on a guillotine attempt in the main event?
0.
Okay.
0.
How does Mike Heck take his Dunkin'? Flavor swirls, cold brew, iced latte. Black, baby. All black.
Did you have an extra phase? I feel like everyone did at some point.
I think everybody in high school I did. Yeah. That was like the cool thing when everyone was cool and started drinking coffee.
Yeah.
I will say this though, and I'm man enough to say it. When October rolls around, I have one pumpkin iced coffee.
I tell you what. The whitest thing about me is I consume everything pumpkin flavored until it's out of season. The second pumpkin head, Shipyard pumpkin here.
Shipyard
hits the thing. The second we get pumpkin swirl coffees, PSLs, pumpkin pie, I'm eating all of it. It's the whitest.
Mosley is chucking them. This fight is continued on, and Mosley's going for the kill. Yes. When I get pumpkin, it's extra milk, 1 sugar.
I get the black with 1 pump, to the point where one time, what's in Arizona, my girlfriend tried to get, because it was like going out, my girlfriend wanted to get me the pumpkin syrup for my birthday, which is in December. So she went to go get it, and they had no idea. They were like, well, you want to buy just the syrup? And it was like the next week it was leaving Dunkin'. So they poured the entire batch of syrup, the whole thing, because they couldn't give me the bottle, into an iced coffee cup.
Oh, and my God.
So I had like a quart of syrup that lasted me half a year. Because you don't need that. It was insane, but fantastic.
What a gift.
Oh, it's great.
What
it's one of the best things ever given to me.
This fight is like watching a sloth navigate a maze of molasses.
That's good. That's great.
That was
I really
so
like that.
specific.
I love
Wow.
that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that.
Shout out Metamoris.
Dude, it was, man. Metamoris was dope back in the day, except for that Brandon shot thing. Remember when Josh Barnett choked out was it Dean Lister that he choked out? Like a scarf hold?
I think you're right.
And then Ben Rothwell go choked him like a couple months later. Golly, that was a blast. It was like cool looking too, the black and white in like the pit. It was great.
Mike, is EKC at the fight? Yes, he sure is. He is in the building. He's given us like little updates from time to time about like what the crowd is like, how excited they are. Said that there was an intensity at a certain point, like early on in the card, probably for the what's his face, the first main card fight. But now he said like the crowd's getting a little restless watching this fight. But this is boxing. I love how some people are like ragging on the pumpkin shit, but you drink it. You're probably drinking that shit in June.
I also like don't care if people don't like that. I drink pumpkins. You know,
it's a month of my life.
I skateboard
I like a
down.
frap. There you go, Dave. A fribble.
I've had a couple culottes in my time.
Hell yeah! Coffee coladas.
You know, it was the bet. Remember when they had remember they had that green. Remember green Sobe Life Water.
Yes.
That they had a Sobe flavored culotta that was electric.
Yeah. Jacob's fight over. Not like
round 9
from a technical standpoint, but
Mosley's cooking them.
Yeah, it's probably 8-0 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, big shot from Mosley.
It's literally just a vet versus a younger guy.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the same fight.
You can see Danny, the IQ and the skills are there still for Danny Jacobs.
Yeah.
Father Time is undefeated. He's trying to pick the shots. He's trying to throw the right shots. Like he's trying to set him up. He's reaching out. He's trying to do it. He's doing everything right. Shane Mosley is just faster. His body and Danny Jacobs is just not reacting like he used to.
Our own EKC Leiden, a little update in the Slack channel. Kind of surmising this in my own way, but he's saying very pro-fight crowd. They are very respectful and are understanding of the fight game, but they are done waiting. They are ready for this main event to start. They're starting to lose their mind.
This is like when Raquel Pennington fought Holly Holm in the co-main event before. Was it Connor Cowboy?
Yes.
Or
that was tough.
Was it Connor Cowboy?
Was it that card? There was fuck.
Or was because Wonder Boy and Gilbert Burns was also the co-main event? Was that the co-main event to Poirier 3?
Yeah, that was a summer.
Yeah.
That was an
same thing, but like it's the same thing. Like people understood that Gilbert Burns was just out wrestling Wonder Boy, but they wanted to see Connor fight.
Yeah. You were right. The Holly Holm fight was the McGregor Cerrone card. UFC 246. Jacobs looks real old. Nate will win. Is the iconic voice snapping pics of the fights? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. She's always at the Diaz cards.
That's in the business.
Some Masvidal fan. Chris Avila is sus. Don't know why. This card needs Parker Porter. You're damn right it does. Every card needs Parker Porter. Speaking of New England legends, there you go. All right, round 10 coming up in this co-main event. Mosley is cruising along here. Richard, not even a pumpkin pie guy? Come on, man.
More for me.
Pumpkin pie on Turkey Day, dude?
More for me.
Me too.
I don't know who this is. Oh, that's Najee Harris? Dang, I did not recognize him with his hair up.
All the celebs out for this one.
But very random celebs.
Sobe was fire.
Yeah, it was.
I like the see, I'm glad we bring up these little things because then people start bringing, like, coming out of the woodworks with shit. The
That's what I'm
Orbit's
saying.
water with the weird floating chemical balls.
Oh my
Dairy
God.
Queen is a frosted animal cookie blizzard. I have not had
Yeah.
that.
We didn't have Dairy Queens in Rhode Island. We had the only Dairy Queen we had was in the Providence Place Mall, and it was ice cream only. So like
Yeah.
you couldn't get like the actual food, but yeah, it was great.
That's like classic New England. You'd watch commercials for all these fast food joints and ice cream places that didn't exist in New
Oh,
England.
bro, the second I moved
Sonic.
the second I moved to Phoenix, the first week I was in Phoenix, I went to Sonic, I went to Jack in the Box, I went to Dairy Queen, I went to Arby's, I went to Carl's Jr., I went to In-N-Out, I went to Chick-fil-A, I went to Church's Chicken, went to all of them, man. All of them we didn't get in Rhode Island. Rhode Island had McDonald's, BK, Wendy's, like 1 or 2 KFCs. Obviously, I think we had 1 Taco Bell. But yeah, I went hard in the paint, and I've not ever been back to Jack in the Box because I was like, didn't need to come here. That wasn't very good.
Ah, dude, you can't. Jack in the Box. Like, no one goes to Jack in the Box sober.
No.
That is a late night, just wrecked.
But
Need
why
a burger,
wouldn't you?
fries, and you want the
Nah,
2
man.
tacos.
I want
You
to go.
the 2 tacos.
I want to go and get Taco Bell when I've had too many adult sodas.
Yeah. Sometimes Taco Bell's not open though, and you just have to go to Jack in the Box.
It is in Rhode Island. The one in Rhode Island, I think it was on Reservoir Ave or Reservoir Road, is like at one point was the busiest Taco Bell in like the East Coast. The line would be astronomical every day. Anyway, I digress.
Doesn't surprise me. Anyone see Mayweather's young fighter tonight? Moton is a future world champ. Definitely wrap it all this 100%.
Perfect placement on the card. Perfect opponent. Perfect card in general. You know, they kept the camera on Mayweather, so you were aware what was at stake. I think they nailed it. Moton's going to be a huge problem. Whataburger is great. I love Whataburger. Answering
Whataburger's good time. Missed the OG Baskin Robbins 31 flavors.
There's a Baskin
There's also
Robbins,
the occasional Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins combos.
That's the Dunkin' I go to in East Village. That's what it is.
No shit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those in forever.
There's one in Warwick on Warwick Ave in Rhode Island where I grew up. I'll tell you, what's a more New England corner than this? We had a CVS across the street from a Baskin Robbins Dunkin', across the street from a Papagino's D'Angelo's combo.
Oh, that's a winner right there.
And then a Cello's drive-through, which if you're not from Rhode Island, you don't know what Cellos are, but it was like, it's a thing. Like that I can't remember. It's Warwick Ave and I can't remember the road. Airport Road. Duh, I'm stupid. But yeah, that was the.
You're just missing like a Shaw's or a Star Market, Jordan's Furniture, and you're all set. You got it all.
There was a Shaw's down the other road, but then they opened a Stop and Shop across the way from it. Now Shaw's is just sad.
Yeah, man. Shaw's Market, see what makes us shine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, those are the market. Jesus, I was gonna have Market Basket. Golly. Yep, Star Market, all those. Miss those. And that's the fight. Shane Mosley should win this at least 9-1. And
Shane
guys,
Mosley
for those who keep asking, Shane Mosley Jr., for those who keep asking, when's the main event going to start? Hopefully very soon. Now that the co-main event is wrapped and packed.
They just showed the main event. The two guys are like standing in the tunnel, so it should start relatively soon.
Davis had Jack in the Box once, and that was enough.
Yeah. Tell you what,
I want to see. Toppings go on your hot dog.
Depends on what kind of hot. All right. I'm gonna turn my chair around.
He's adjusting the chair. This is gonna be good.
If I have a regular hot dog, like a Ballpark Frank, like a Nathan's or Hebrew National, whatever, I go just mustard and relish. I'll throw some onions on there if I'm feeling zesty. If someone puts ketchup on it, I won't complain, but it won't be my choice. But if I go to Rhode Island and I get a hot wiener, New York system style from Onlyville, I get dragged through the garden, meat sauce. Don't know what's in the meat. Definitely don't want to know. Onions, brown mustard, celery salt. Get 3 of those, large order of well done French fries, and a Coke, and then I am ready to go. And then I'll eat that every day for the rest of my life if I could. And if I see you wearing gloves and a hairnet, I'm returning it.
There are two spots in the Berkshires that were like in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. They were like right on they were on the same. No, they weren't on the same street. One was Tio's, one was Hot Dog Ranch, and they specialize in the mini hot dogs with the chili meat sauce and make them however you want. And
Rhode Island,
like 6 or 10 of them.
Rhode Island, they're called hot wieners. We got Olneyville, we got Olneyville System in Olneyville. We got Wienorama, we got Harry's Hot Wieners, we got Cosmic Hot Wieners.
Is it just a battle? A battle for
I mean, New York System Olneyville is the original, and nothing will ever beat it. Wienorama is only open for lunch.
Is everyone just slammed lines out the door all the time?
Yeah, 100%. And the last time I went there, someone was running for governor of Rhode Island. I cannot remember who it was, and he walked in because Wienorama is like it's one of those places like politicians have to make an appearance at and shake hands because it's an institution. And he walks in and goes, "What should I get?" And everyone was like, "Oh, well, I'm not voting for you. You can't come into Wienorama and not know what you're gonna get."
Cost of the election.
100%.
People going to Taco Bell tomorrow. Dairy Queen vanilla ice cream is crazy good.
Man, I'm down for a fast food live chat.
This is a good time.
I went to Taco Bell.
No Jack in the Box in New Jersey, apparently.
I went to Taco Bell.
Market basket.
I went to Taco Bell after Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Tell you that much.
Good call. Spicy mustard is the GOAT. I am a hot sauce guy. I put hot sauce on absolutely everything.
Me too, but I do love spicy mustard. But you have to tell me it's spicy mustard because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten like a hot pretzel from a bar and they give you the mustard on the side and I don't realize it's spicy and I just like scoop it and eat it and all of a sudden I'm like seeing sound and like I'm just like stuck in a black hole of spice and I just can't get out for the rest of the night.
Yep. But if you know it's coming, it hits different.
Exactly.
Mayo, corn, and nacho cheese.
I don't like
boiled
corn.
Or grilled hot dog. Great question.
So if it's a ballpark Frank, Hebrew National, whatever, grilled. But so this is where I get way more detailed about my hot dog choices. If it's like that, I'm outside. You grill it, but a hot wiener, you have to grill it on a flat top and you throw water on it to like steam it on the flat top. Now, when I worked at I worked in McCoy Stadium, former home of the Paw Sox.
Yep.
I worked at a third base concessions, which was the busiest concession stand in the whole stadium, and we boiled hot dogs. And on camp day, when they gave out free hot dog coupons to every kid, I probably made 5,000 hot dogs a day. And I have burns and scars to this day from that time.
Wow. I worked concession stand one time for 1 hour. Wow. I had a buddy it was the day of, and they said, he hit me up, said, "I'm going to Summer Sanitarium at Foxborough Stadium. It's the Metallica headline show." Goes, "Come with me." Goes, "You basically get in for free. We just have to work in the stand with the Framingham State cheerleaders. And then like we just have to work there for an hour and then we could just beat it and just watch the show." And I was like, I'll go. And I did, and it was a great time. That was a hell of a show. Metallica, Korn, Kid Rock at the time when Kid Rock, this was like 99, 2000 Kid Rock.
So this is like
Power Man 5000 and System of a Down. That was the show.
System of a Down's great. Late 90s Metallica was not good. Regardless.
But they didn't really play all that stuff. But
load and reload.
They played Nothing Else Matters at like 10:30 at night. And everyone brought out, and this is like pre-cell phone. So everyone just brought out lighters and just like waved the lighters in the air. Like 80,000 people. It's the friggin' coolest thing I've ever seen. It was awesome. Willimantic, thank you. Living in Arizona now, but growing up in Connecticut, it was cool hearing you guys talk about Papagino, Shaw's, and Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
Yes. Good call.
Where
in Western Mass, it's Price Chopper and Market 32.
Rhode Island had Shaw's, Stop and Shop, and Dave's Market.
Dave's Market.
Dave's Market was like where you would. So like my mom has been gluten free as long as like before gluten free was really a thing. So like Dave's Market is where you would get the the almond milk and dairy free stuff for like back when Shaw's wasn't almond milk wasn't readily available to the masses just yet.
Just we want to see the desk right now when we're knocking on the door of this main event, but we're
Whatever.
back with
At least we're there.
I know, it's time. We're just about. Shout out to BC. I think BC has been the actual MVP of this fight build.
Josh Thompson has a very nice suit though. I'm not gonna lie. He does.
All right, we see Nate Diaz warming up in the locker room, throwing really hard punches for the final warm up
with Richard Perez, who he has been with forever, the icon.
Yep. Nate's got the boxing garb, white, black stripes, the Nikes, black winter hat on. BC's tie is outstanding.
Yeah, the pocket square.
Oh man, great drop.
So we had Sam's Club in Rhode Island. We didn't have a BJ's.
We had BJ's. BJ's is a big Boston thing.
Yeah, we would go.
BJ's in.
BJ's
is a big Masters thing.
So BJ's also had better hours than Sam's Club, and obviously growing up in New England, everything's close. So when we would need things like late at night, we would all go to BJ's to get it. But
grilled cheese with a slice of tomato and tomato soup. Yeah.
I'm a big tortilla fan, though. That's the Mexican side of me that comes out rather than a grilled cheese.
Who the fuck boils hot dogs as an adult? What's it?
I don't. I agree. I'll say this: if I have, because like we've had friends over and it's been like snowy out, we can't grill outside. If I'm making 1 or 2 hot dogs for myself, or like me and my girlfriend made hot dogs on the stovetop for 4th of July because we can't have a grill on our patio, I'll make them on the grill. But if I'm making a 12-pack of hot dogs, I'll just throw them in boiling water.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Underrated cooking technique for the hot dog too is you take like a little pan and you just put you just coat the bottom with water.
That's how you make a hot wiener.
It's so good, dude.
That's how you make a hot wiener. It's great.
I love how we're just getting nostalgic with all these stores and restaurants. It's spectacular.
Well, when we did the UFC 200 watch long party,
shout out to John, by the way. Boiled hot dogs 30 minutes ago. Prefer the grill, but 99% of the time. Yeah. Microwave them.
I can't microwave.
Can't do that.
No way.
Can't do that.
Not happening. It's like when we did the
Costco
UFC
dog 150.
That's true. When we did the UFC 200 watch party, we just talked about friendlies for like 20 minutes.
Oh man.
My friends move because you've only been to California once, you said, but the Angels Stadium, the Anaheim Angels Stadium, you can bring food in. Like you can bring outside food in, and you can bring a blanket, and you can have a whole picnic on the berm and just bring your own picnic. I think that's a big reason why the Angels attendance hasn't dropped off, even though Ohtani is gone and Trout's hurt. It is a very fun experience in Anaheim. And the last time I went to a game there, my friend brought an entire extra large Costco pizza with him. And we sat in the bleachers and crushed a Costco pizza watching the Angels play.
So we used to. So I have family in Dallas. So every time like the Red Sox would come during the summer to play the Rangers, we would always go down there and watch games. But yeah, if like my whole family would go down there, we'd get like dozen tickets, just all sit in the same section. And my aunt would just boil like 100 hot dogs and put them in a big cooler.
Yeah.
They just let you bring them in. It's a great time. We're getting a concert.
Is this the national anthem?
National anthem from Kyle Schuschler.
I don't know who this is. I apologize, Kyle Schuschler.
Getting the national anthem. Showing respect.
Tell you what, both of these guys have fantastic teams in their corner.
Yeah.
Like underrated. And guys they've been with their whole career.
Nate is fired up.
Now he's got the black hoodie on.
Multiple wardrobe changes. Apparently the poll going on is hot dogs versus hamburgers right now.
I mean, I like both.
81% burgers so far. I don't know who's running the polls, but A+. Hope they get a raise, maybe a little bit of a bonus.
Get paid in hot dogs, dog.
We're just keeping the polls very active and on topic. Good job, Kyle Schuschler. Assume a country music singer of some kind. No idea who he is.
Apparently it's Shaheen.
Tremendous hair.
Apparently it's Shaheen doing the polls.
Is Shaheen?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Shaheen. Excellent work. The cooking of hot dog conversation continues on. Microwaving in a bowl of water. Not too many friendlies anymore. It's so unfortunate.
No, it really is.
Shout out Wilbraham, Massachusetts, the birthplace of friendlies. Burgers all day. Dane getting hungry. He's got a pot pie.
I'll crush a pot pie.
Shepherd's pie is, oh, God. Haven't had a good shepherd's pie in a long time.
You ever had a pasty, like an English pasty? It's like a big hot meat pie, but it's like, imagine a Hot Pocket with like a meat pie crust.
Oh, yeah.
The Guinness,
Yep.
Get a Guinness stew pasty. Can't go wrong.
What else we got? I feel like you need 5 hot dogs for each meal, and that's the issue with hot dogs. See, that's the thing.
She like it's a bad.
Shout out Shaheen, my man. What else we got?
The comment section is probably just a group of food now.
It's tremendous. Born and raised in Stockton here. Even went to high school with Jake Shields.
Shout out.
I have so many questions for you. I'm worried Nate will win this, but hope he does. War Diaz. What's your guys' favorite cut of steak?
I'm with Feely. I'm not a steak guy. I love steak, but I'm not one of those guys that's like, I need X and this and that on my steak.
Honestly, my favorite is, whatever you give me, I'll eat. But a good, like, marinated steak tip in the summertime just hits me right where I need to be hit. Things that do not go on nachos or pizza. Chicken.
I disagree on both of those because I love me a bacon, like a buffalo chicken pizza or like a bacon ranch chicken pizza, or you get like the shredded chicken and then you put like the spice on it and you let it like sit there overnight and then cook it, and then you can put it on top of your nachos. It's great. It's great.
This is incredible. Use a toaster for a hot dog.
It's a good shout.
Or the George Foreman grill.
It's a good shout. Lately,
meatloaf, bacon or no bacon?
Yes.
I mean, hard-hitting questions. Where do you stand on potato salad?
As long as there's not sand in it, people get that reference.
I don't think you can go wrong. The Northeast potato salad and the South potato salad are two totally different things.
They got sand in the potato salad. People will get that reference. Someone will get that reference in the chat.
Shepherd's pie are crazy easy to make. They are.
They are.
The problem is you just want to eat all of it at once.
It's not a problem. Just do it.
Everyone's getting hungry. Are you going to have the fight on screen? No.
No, we cannot do that.
Filet mignon.
Right.
T-bone. Oh, now we're getting all the steaks. Steakums. Let's go. Pineapple. Don't put it anywhere near it.
No, don't put it anywhere near anything. It's the worst food in the world. It's literally, pineapple is the one food I can't eat.
This can't be a real question.
Scrambled egg on pizza. I mean,
I've
never tried it. I've never heard of it, but I'll try anything once.
All right. It's literally the first I've ever heard that in my life.
Me too.
But is this a promo video for just Masvidal?
I guess so. It's like,
all right, we're getting
it's his entrance music.
I feel like Masvidal's been standing in the back in that spot for 25 minutes. But now he's starting to make the walk.
John Esquivel.
Is he coming out to the same theme?
I don't know, but I have to address before we end the food talk. John Esquivel says he has an idea for breakfast nachos. That is a thing. It's called chilaquiles. That dish already exists, and it's fantastic. But if you eat it for breakfast, you can't eat for the rest of the day. You'll be full for 24 hours.
Pineapples are good for you. I'm a big pineapple guy.
Great. They're still terrible.
Even by themselves?
Can't do it. I literally can't eat it. The second I put one in my mouth, I gag and throw up.
Damn.
I don't know why.
I know you don't like it on pizza.
I don't like it, period. Like, even when Esther and Casey and I were in Vegas for Connor Cowboy, it was either Connor Cowboy or Izzy Romero. I can't remember. But we were doing the golf commentary, and I ate a pineapple. Esther convinced me to eat a pineapple on air, and I went, ugh, and I had to run out. Someone tell us.
Mosley's been walking for 3 minutes, and he's still not in the arena yet.
I like the red and white.
I
like the red and white combo he's got going. The Scarface theme.
I don't know if it's a Scarface theme or it's
definitely Scarface, the white with the red suit underneath.
Yeah. We got the blue lights, you get the smoke machines. Here he comes. Final picks, ladies and gentlemen. Final picks. Who you got? Masvidal with a big smile on his face. I'm sure this crowd is going to go absolutely bananas for Nate Diaz. The boxing scene, especially this boxing scene, is when I realized, and I knew Nate was a very popular fighter.
Yeah.
But this scene is when I realized that Nate was superstar wasn't enough.
Nate is an icon.
Yeah. When I covered the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley rematch, Nate was just there.
Yeah.
And he looked like an absolute superstar. Dude could not walk.
Same for anywhere. Nate was at Anderson and Jake Paul and had to leave the bowl because he was getting mobbed.
It was insane. They had to shut down sections so him and his team could get beers. And then they would sit down, and then that was that infamous moment where some dude was talking shit to Nate, and he did the fake punch while the guy had 2 beers, and he spilled them all over himself. That was in Tampa.
Yeah, that was electric.
Oh, so good. All right, here comes Nate Diaz. We got the promo video going. 1:10 a.m. We're close at 1:15.
Come on, some John Cena's theme song.
Oh, dude. John Cena
soon to be
announced his retirement. Yeah.
Well, his retirement tour. He's going to do all the big pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
All
right. Showing Nate Khan. Just able to use all this UFC.
Gray Maynard getting just no love. So I'm knocking out Parisian, Gray Maynard, and choking out Jim Miller.
There he is. With the Be Real sweatshirt on, the sleeves cut off.
That dude on the left.
Buffer intro? Nice.
Is he really?
Well, I think they just used it with the music.
Oh. That dude on the left's the guy that chased Neon, right?
Yeah. I don't think these dudes, the Neons of the world, trust me when I tell you, there's a reason Derek from Better did not go to the Jake Paul Nate Diaz fight that night in Dallas.
No.
There's a reason why he was not in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would not have gone well for him. I don't think these people actually realize who these guys are.
You live in a world of no consequences. That's what they
Yeah,
do.
they do not care. They will fight you. Like at any point, they will just come and fight you. You get a microphone, you say something dumb, they will remember that and they will fight you the first chance they see you. The second they see you, they will go after you and fight you. And people think it's a joke and it's a facade and it's fake. It ain't. It's not. Nate Diaz stealing the fight week at the ceremonial weigh-ins yesterday. I got such a kick out of that.
Yeah,
It was so funny. Any final words? Jimmy Lennon Jr. trying to be super professional. Any final words for Mr. Masvidal, Nate? Nah, shit's cat, bro. Waited this morning. Oh, so good. It was so good. Nate is in the ring, ladies and gentlemen. He has gotten through the ropes. Richard Perez in the ring. Fans going crazy. Masvidal in the ring. Nate in the ring. Nate has gone to the red corner. Oh, man. We're going to the tail of the tape. Ladies and gentlemen, for those asking, it's about to happen. There it is. Both men 39. Nate Diaz, 1 inch taller.
It is crazy that Nate Diaz is 39.
It is. Both of them are 39. I thought Nate was... yeah. I actually thought Nate was older than 39. Here we go. Jimmy Lennon Jr. getting the intros going. Final picks. What do we got? Jimmy Lennon Jr. is the freaking man, by the way.
Yeah, he's great.
He's so good. Just makes it feel bigger. Sponsored by Make America Great Again apparel.
Yeah, okay.
All right, shout out to Sheen Al-Shadi putting out the poll. Your choices are Diaz decision, Diaz KO TKO, Masvidal decision, Masvidal KO TKO are the options. So far, Diaz decision in the lead, 35%. Diaz KO, Masvidal decision, 25%. Apiece, Masvidal KO, 16% right now is where we're at. Lennon getting them going. I'm so excited. We're finally here. It's go time. Masvidal getting the intro, getting booed.
Yeah, they're in California. What do you expect?
Yeah. Very good.
Oh, I can't even imagine
Man,
how loud it is.
electric. Electric. Big reaction for Nate. Diaz decision still in the lead here. It's crazy that Masvidal has not won a fight since beating Nate.
Yeah. That is
Which I
wild.
didn't realize until today.
Well, Nate's only had one win since then.
And then, yeah. Is this also the anniversary? I saw somebody in our Slack post. Is this the anniversary of the Ben Askren knee?
It's if it's not this today, it's this week.
Yeah, it's definitely right around there.
That was International Fight Week 4. I think it was John and Tiago.
Masvidal blowing kisses at maybe members of the crowd here. I don't know. I feel like some weirdness is about to go down. Getting the final instructions. We're going to get a glove touch? Oh, no. The referee doesn't even want one. Says, no. You're not touching gloves. Get out of there. Get back in your corners. We're fighting. All right. We'll definitely be more in tune with the action on this one than we were in the co-main event. We'll run down the opening seconds so we can sync up here if you're watching with us. No 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. Fighter cannot be saved with the bell. Nate's ready. Masvidal ready. No glove touch. We're underway. Diaz comes out. Body head. 255. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're at 250 in round 1. Both guys came out pretty quick. Diaz is throwing that jab out. Masvidal to the body. Little quick shots. Little quick punches.
Mm-hmm.
Diaz a little combo. Lands the left hand. Masvidal's back is against the corner. Both guys land combinations. Jabs from both guys. Almost a clash of heads there. Nate moving forward, throwing a jab. Masvidal a little low there, a little low. Good left hand from Masvidal. Nate's just doing Nate things right here.
It's weird seeing Jorge.
He's boxing. He's trying to box, like really box.
Yeah, because look, he's even pushing with his elbows.
Yep. You can see him with the feints and everything, and Nate's just doing what Nate does.
Yeah, like I said in the preview show.
Ooh, good combination.
Like what I said, like a lot of Jorge's strengths came from his threats with the kicks, or the knees, or the elbows. Once you take those away, you don't have to worry about those things. You just have to worry about his punching. Like that, that like kind of shuffle hook that he knocked out Darren Till with. That like he's threatening a kick, and then he lands it. Once you take that away, like, what do you have to worry about? Like, even in MMA, Nate just punched.
Nate's
teeing off.
Nate's on fire right now. Oh, Nate is just going off here. Nate's enjoying himself. He's just ripping the body. Masvidal trying to fire back. Good start for Nate. He just throws a million punches. It's a tale. It's just a common tale. We get a little body clinch here. 23 seconds left here in round 1. Oh, good left hand from Masvidal there. Nate gives him the head shake. Nate, big combination, looping lefts and rights, and then he lands a straight right down the pipe. Oh, Nate having a good time. Posing a little bit. End of round 1. Masvidal bumps the shoulder. 10-9 Nate, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. I assume you guys will all agree with that in the chat. Unless you just hate Nate. But good start. Nate coming out very aggressive early on.
Not just aggressive, but like doing the thing where he is literally laughing in Masvidal's face.
A lot of people. I'm surprised Diaz is trying to win. 10-9-8. I mean, that seems to be the consensus here, and it probably should be. Okay. Round 2. Nate just charges in.
Jorge's trying, but again,
He is.
like,
He's boxing.
if you could kick, it'd be great because Nate leaves his head right out there. But
yeah, I mean, you could tell because Masvidal's been saying pretty much this
yeah.
entire build, like since January, I've been out in Vegas training boxing.
Yeah,
but he's good start to round 2. Yeah, Masvidal's starting to open up a little bit more here. Nate's just kind of walking into the jab right now. Nate trying to get those jabs out. Good combination. My favorite Nate punch in the first round was him throwing as hard as he could straight punches, but instead of punching him in the face, he punched him in the belly.
Yeah, right.
It was just the weirdest looking punch you'll ever see. And he landed like 6 of those in round 1. Definitely a better start for Masvidal here.
Yeah, but
good right hand.
Nate hasn't stopped throwing at all.
And moving. He just keeps moving forward. Masvidal continues to move backwards. And over this final 90 seconds, if Diaz just keeps doing this and Masvidal keeps moving backwards and he's landing those combos, he could steal this round. Definitely a good start for Masvidal. But Masvidal doing a good job. He got away from the ropes, got away from the corner, and he's starting to throw shots. Oh, good left hand from George. Oh, there's Nate doing Nate things. Combos into the body. That's what he was looking for. Masvidal was able to get away from the ropes, which is smart. $50 seconds left here in round number 2 for those wanting to sync up. Nate just continues to move forward. Just continues to keep... Oh, we're on the break. He lands 2 little right hands. Nate Diaz turning things around here. Oh, good shot from Masvidal. It's got to be so frustrating fighting Nate because you could hit him so hard.
Yeah. 100%.
And you don't know if he's hurt or not. Like and when you think you have him hurt, he ain't hurt.
It's like you're punching a wall.
Yeah. Dude's a freak. Oh. Both guys landing. Oh, good combo from Masvidal and a right hand.
Masvidal's punching like, have you ever seen that that video of Canelo talking with Brandon Moreno when Brandon's hitting the bag? After Brandon, and then Canelo is talking about how he tries to punch through the bag rather than like, because Moreno was like kind of bouncing it off of it, kind of like when Nate does like a whipping action. And Canelo goes, I try to punch through the bag. And that's what Jorge's punches look like they're thudding. And Nate's more of a whip. Like Jorge's trying to punch Nate's head off. And Nate is just whipping them in there.
What do we think in round 2, ladies and gentlemen? Think it's an 8 round or a Masvidal round? It's very close. Much closer round. 304 Ghost has a 2018 Nate. 1919. I think I have a 1919 as well. Round 3. Oh, Nate coming out. Nice combo.
It's basically just showing his butt.
Oh, Masvidal fires. Ooh. Masvidal's throwing heaters right now. .233, 232, 231, 230. Round number 3. Thus far, according to the official stats, Masvidal 32-29 in total strikes. Throwing a better percentage, 24% landed, 19% for Nate. Masvidal, ooh, good shot from Masvidal. Good left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Masvidal fighting southpaw. I didn't even think about that, honestly. But it doesn't bother Nate because Nate's just going to keep doing what Nate does. Good shot from Nate.
Nate's doing a much better job of trying to work around Jorge's defense rather than Jorge's trying to punch through it. Both are like very good strategies for their opponent because Jorge stands still and doesn't really move his head too much, and Nate is walking forward, and Jorge's trying to just punch. Yeah, see, like that. Sees one opening and lands it.
Nate's throwing the combos now. When he
This
gets
is
back,
already...
let's see if he can get back to the body. Oh, good left from Masvidal. This is Pettis Avila on steroids.
Yeah, right.
53 seconds left here. 52, 51, 50 in round number 3. Masvidal. Oh, good combination from Masvidal. Good left hand. Diaz with the combination. Very Diaz-esque. Good jab.
Not a whole lot of defense here, guys.
No, this is fun ass fight.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, good right hand from Masvidal. Nate lands. Good combination from Nate. Masvidal to the body. Good combo from Nate. Jab from Nate. Very nice.
Jorge's are way more looping. Like he's getting...
Yeah.
But then like that right there, Jorge lands one and Nate has to take a step back.
Yep.
Nate is landing 5 punches. Jorge just kind of looks annoyed and flustered and then connects with one and Nate takes a step back.
Three rounds down. How do you guys have it? I feel like it's 2-1 Masvidal right now, but I don't think Nate really cares all that much because it seems like what he's trying to do is kind of what 304 Ghost is saying, just letting Masvidal just kind of tire himself out. 2-1 Nate for 304 Ghost. 2-1 George from McMahon Pro. I have a 2-1 George as well.
Yeah.
29-28 Masvidal from... Yeah. These are all like incredibly close rounds. I think the clearest round was round 1 for Nate.
Yeah.
.245, 244, 243 here in round number 4. Good right hand from Nate. We're clinching up. We're tying up. Referee got a close look. They separate. And we're back.
Someone said 30-27 Jorge, and that is not...
That's an absolutely insane scorecard.
There's 100%... Like, Nate did not lose the first round.
That is an insane scorecard.
If anyone scored for Jorge, they're blind or from Miami.
And they're betting lots of money on Mosley.
Yeah.
That's an insane scorecard.
Yeah. I don't think Nate's gonna rock Jorge at all this fight. No. I think Jorge could rock Nate, but Nate's gonna throw. Like when they show the stats at the end, Nate's gonna throw about 100 more punches than Jorge.
Nate walking forward, landing that combo.
Oof.
Nate could do this all day.
Even when he fought
back to the body.
Even when he fought Jake Paul, Nate had him like kind of rocked for a second. Not rocked, I should say, but just like, what do I do? Like Jake was like, what am I doing? Oof. That overhand,
especially after the knockdown, yeah.
Southpaw for Southpaw is a tough fight too. Nate's also doing that Ryan Garcia thing where he's like leaning with his shoulder, like his back shoulder.
Good combo from Masvidal.
Rips
I thought
himself.
Nate
Ooh.
won like the last 3 rounds against Jake.
Yeah. Jorge is punching.
Is so
Jorge's
funny,
punch is landing way more power shots. Nate is
Nate's just landing more shots.
He has not stopped throwing. He's eating a punch while throwing 3.
Masvidal trying to battle back. Nate hit him 25 times before Masvidal threw a punch back.
That's crazy.
I mean, nothing with like a ton of pop on it, but
he has Nate Diaz threw a 40 punch combination and then turned his back and walked away.
And then he laughed and looked at the crowd, and then he punched Masvidal in the face 3 times.
He had a 40 punch combo. That is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, right back to the body.
And Jorge's trying to lock up, and Nate's like, nah, bro, I'm going to rip into your body.
You could see, man.
No, Jorge switched on, though. Like, switched it and then immediately clinched up, though.
Masvidal's still throwing with a little bit of pepper. Diaz starting to taunt a little bit. Oh, he shoves him. All right. I think it's 2-2. I think it's an 8 round.
Diaz, without
when you land 25 punches,
this is like what I said though. Like the crowd's hyped, and this is what I said. Like, you didn't need to build this fight with a world tour. You didn't need all these press conferences. Like by the time the fight started, people were going to be interested in watching Nate and Jorge. People are interested in watching Nate and Jorge do one thing, and that's get in fist fights. That's all they care about.
2-2 seems to be the popular card here. A lot of Nate fans. 3-1 Nate from 304 Ghost. It's not a terrible card.
It's not, but I do think I agree with 2-2.
3-1 Nate is better than 4-0 George. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because you cannot give Masvidal the first round.
Jorge Masvidal.
All right, round 5. When we get to like round 7, that's when shit's going to get real interesting. We're going to see where Masvidal is at. Because you did mention earlier, and I think you make a great point. This whole notion that Masvidal is just, he's Conor McGregor, where he just fights for 1 round and then just can't fight anymore.
No way.
It's just craziness.
The people he loses to are specialists. Damian Maia, Wonder Boy, Gilbert Burns. I mean, Kamaru Usman knocked him out cold, but that was when Kamaru was on the run of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Arguably the second greatest welterweight ever.
Colby. Just grappled him the whole time.
And he still rocked him. He rocked him in the 5th round.
Yeah.
He was just like, at that point, he was a little too tired to chase after him.
205, 204, 203, 202 here in round 5.
Oh, you're 2 seconds ahead of me. Let me see if I can catch up. There we go.
Here we go. 50, 49, 48.
Yeah, now I'm caught up.
They're fighting in very close. Both men just kind of ripping to the body. Oh, Masvidal, big right hand from Masvidal.
Nate's backing up. Nate's finally taking a step back.
Yep. Oh, good left hand from Masvidal.
Oh, just digs to the body. Into the body.
Oh, Masvidal back to the body.
But
Nate just doesn't stop. Nate just throws. Nate taunting a little bit. Masvidal shoves Diaz away. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 punches from Nate. Before Nate Masvidal returns. Good left from Masvidal. Good jab from Masvidal. Diaz with the right hand. It's hard to even call this because Nate just is throwing 35 punches in a row. Oh, that was a nice combo from Nate. This is like a 19-punch combination from Nate Diaz. But when Masvidal lands, he's just landing way harder. Good D from Diaz, ducking underneath a big right from Masvidal. Final 18 seconds here in round 5.
Oof.
Big combo from Nate.
Yeah, but then
Masvidal answers back.
But Jorge's answer is 2 power shots. Nate landed 12 punches. Jorge landed 2, and Nate got more hurt.
I think it's 3-2 Masvidal.
Yeah.
I think that's a George round. That last combination, I think, put it over the top.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because Nate backed up. Nate, I don't think he like super hurt him, but he definitely got Nate's attention in a different kind of a way. So 3-2 Masvidal for me. Bam. Boom. Boom. All right, let's see the I want to see that last combination Masvidal landed with like 7 seconds left in the round. Let's see what the MMA fighting team is saying. 48-47 Masvidal. I mean, it's one of those. Some 3-2 Nates in there. Some 3-2 Georges. 4-1 Nate. Holy shit. 4-1 Masvidal. What is happening here? All right. More than halfway through. Round 6. 243, 242, 41, 40, 39. Here we go. I love this idea, Lord Zed. Right after the fight. Like right after. Go right to the court. Oh, good body shot from Masvidal. Nick saying it could be 5-0 Masvidal. No, it couldn't.
No.
No, it could not.
No way.
There's no way you can get Masvidal
think
the first round.
whoever's winning, it's 3-2.
Yeah.
I don't think Jorge's up 4-1. I don't think Nate is up 4-1. No one is certainly no one is up 5-0.
Left hand from Masvidal. Diaz back to the body. Little right hand. Little jab from Nate. I mean, Masvidal just can't keep standing against the ropes. Oh, he's got to get off those ropes, man. I know he's still throwing hard punches, but he's just going to sit here and get hit 19 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over again from Nate. Body, body, head, body, body. Masvidal slowing down a touch here.
Nate has not stopped.
No, because he can. It's not in his DNA.
He also, like, Jorge's throwing hard power punches, and Nate is just throwing with comfort. Like, he could keep this pace up all day. Oof.
Good round for Nate. The facial expression of Masvidal has changed quite a bit.
This is exactly how. Oh, but then that like check right cross hook is just nice. Right to the chin.
Oh, another one. That was nice.
And dude, I can't imagine fighting someone like Nate Diaz where you're punching them as hard as you can, and they're just walking forward and continue to punch you. It has to be demoralizing.
Yeah. Good round for good left hand from Masvidal.
Masvidal just landed a left hook to the jaw, wobbled Nate for a minute, and then Nate followed up with a combination and another jab. Like, what do you do?
Like, yeah,
look at that.
That's crazy.
Look at that. Jorge is literally connecting flush to the jaw, and Nate Diaz is eating it and walking forward and throwing punches.
It's a Nate round.
Dude, I'll watch these guys fight again.
Is that a Nate round?
I don't know, man. That's tough. Nate threw way more, but those, like, if you watch the last minute, Jorge just looks and just blasts Nate between the eyes.
3-3? I'll go 3-3.
Sure. Why not?
I'll go 3-3. We could be going to draw city here. Very possible.
Is it draw city or draw town?
Draw town. Yeah, splitty cities is. Yeah, a lot of people feel like Nate won that round. There's one person who has a big bet on Masvidal who is saying that it's 5-1, which is just not true. Nate won that round, but I'm not watching, so don't listen to me. Fair.
Fair enough.
That's a great comment. Tremendous. Most people on the same page of 3-3. Or 4-2. And Nate just back at it, throwing a million punches with 233, 232.
Jorge's just stuck in the corner against the ropes. Oh, he switched them.
Yep. Oh, good left from Masvidal. Just missed. Nate's doing a little shimmy. And he got punched pretty hard after he did the little shoulder shimmy. But then Nate just keeps moving forward and keeps punching.
Nate looks way better against Jorge than he did against Jake Paul.
For sure.
I don't know if that's because Jorge is a worse boxer than Jake Paul, or Nate just came in ready to go.
Nate took this a little bit more seriously than he took the Jake Paul fight. Good right hand from Nate. That was nice. Masvidal going back to the ropes.
Oh, my God. Jorge
He's just missing.
Yeah, but he's still grazing him. Like, that still has to hurt. Look at that. Look at that. Those stats. 473 to 420.
That's crazy.
Nate's thrown 476 punches. Jorge's thrown 420, but Jorge has landed more.
Minute 18 left here. Good jab from Masvidal.
Look, it's his power shots. Jorge's landed about 30 more power shots. Because all of his punches are power shots, basically. There's not a whole lot of combinations. It's just like one booming punch.
Yeah, 92 of 117 are power punches. Ooh, Masvidal just missed. Diaz is doing a good job of, at least in this round, evading like just clean flush punches. Oh, not that time. That was a good right hand from Masvidal.
And Jorge and Nate ate it and then is now unloading.
And now he's just punching a million times again. Like, you just see it in Masvidal's face. Like, Masvidal is just such a gamer, man. Just loves this shit. But at the same token, it's just like, come on, man.
All I know is
I did this guy. Diaz is another combination. Now they're slugging it out.
Whoever wins this fight, the loser is going to think they were robbed.
Yep. Both men arms in the air at the end of round 7.
Diaz is very easily being the aggressor, though. So optically, Nate
100%.
Nate is the one rushing forward.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley's shirt is loud.
Jesus. Gold, sparkly, crazy. Let's see what Sean Porter has to say. Gave it to Nate. Ricardo, 10-round fight. 10 rounds. I don't know, man. I'm kind of done scoring this.
Yeah, I ain't trying.
Yeah. It's 4-3, one way or the other. The only clear round, let's see, Porter has Diaz up 67-66 on his scorecard.
That is not a bad scorecard.
Yeah, that's a good one. And Diaz winning the first 2 rounds.
Yep.
Masvidal winning 3, 4, 5, and Diaz winning 6 and 7. That's fine.
Yep.
I mean, that's fine.
That's great.
Yeah. And, you know.
But if you want to tell me Jorge won one of those rounds in there, I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, and if you're gonna come on here and tell Sean Porter how to judge boxing, then
sir,
you should probably
how dare
not
you?
do it. Right? Oh, it's clear. Sean Porter must have a huge bet on Nate Diaz.
Sean Porter is there's no one like him in MMA either, in terms of like
Yeah.
he's so unbiased and is just so good at breaking down fights. We'll do interviews with everyone. Boxers should try to have post-fight careers like Sean Porter.
Yeah. Round 8. Dude,
Oh
just
my
chucking a
god,
good
dude!
combination from Masvidal.
Jorge finally, God,
And
Jorge,
Nate just like taunts him
opened his arms and said, "Come on, dog."
after eating like 100% of Masvidal's left and right. Just says like, "Come on, bro."
Jorge finally threw a combination longer than 2 punches and connected with all of them.
Minute 26 left here in round 8. Oh, that was a little cheeky right hook from Masvidal. Now he's digging to the body. Oh, good right hand from Masvidal. And Diaz battling right back.
Legendary chin.
This is just insanity. Oh. Diaz marching Masvidal back.
Oh my god, man. I'm comfortable to saying that Jorge could kill me if he punched me in the face. Oh, but then Nate just swung and missed by a mile. Nate missed by about
like an 18 punch combination.
Nate missed by about 30 feet and then still laughed at the crowd.
And then he hit Masvidal 22 straight times. Oh, good jab from Masvidal. Oh, that was nice from George. To the body.
Golly.
Oh, back to the body. But Nate landing again and again.
I'm exhausted watching this fight.
Yeah. Oh. Jesus. This is going to be a draw, man.
Yep.
I just see it. I just see a draw coming in our futures.
Will anyone complain? I hope not.
No. They should do what I've always suggested with Khabib and Tony. Just don't even announce a date. Just pop on pay-per-view. Be like, yo, Diaz and Masvidal brought the box. They weighed in. Here's the weigh-ins. Let's go. I think it's 4-4.
4 up?
Yep. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Porter's going to agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Jorge definitely landed the harder punches in that last round.
Yeah. And it's not like Nate like blew him away with volume that time. 241, 240, 39, 38. And Sean Porter. Wait, what? Sean Porter's scorecard must have been wrong in the last round because they flipped it. They flipped round 6 to Masvidal. So they have Porter has Masvidal up 1 round right now.
Someone says whoever wins, Conor McGregor is definitely going to call him out, and probably.
Darren Till already called them both out, so or he called Jake Paul out and Mike Perry.
I don't.
Probably both these dudes too. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, that Darren Till thing was insane.
Yeah, the guy who fought.
Nate Diaz has thrown 611 punches in this fight.
Jorge's thrown 540.
These are Holloway numbers.
Nah, Holloway throws Nate Diaz numbers.
Nate just lands 100 punches, and then Masvidal lands like one really
He's
good
landing
one
a
that,
lot
like,
on the.
almost.
He's landing a lot in the arms though.
He's not going into the body as much as he was earlier in the fight. That was such a big weapon for him. There you go. There he goes. When he's throwing that like weird full right hand to the and ends up downstairs.
Yeah.
That's been so effective. It's so awkward. Oh, good left hand from Nate.
Ooh, right between
Oof.
the eyes. Oh, now Nate's teeing off.
Yep.
Nate
That was a nice uppercut from Nate.
Nate is unloading with about a 50 punch combo, and then Jorge just, oh my god, Jorge just rips right to the body.
That was a good body rip. Nate's landing big here. These are the best shots Nate's landed probably the whole fight.
At least since the first round.
Yeah. Oh, right back to the body. Yep, that body work just opens up everything.
Nate is opening up now.
This might be his best round. This might be better than his first round. Because he's seeing everything Masvidal's throwing from a mile away right now.
Yeah, because Jorge's been throwing the same combo for 2 rounds.
Big round for Nate Diaz.
I don't even think Jorge is gassed. There's just no window for him to do anything. Like the second he tries to open up, Nate punches him 50 times.
Masvidal was visibly frustrated at the end of that round.
I don't think he's tired. I think there's just not an opportunity for him to do anything.
Dude, he's freaking 39 years old, and he's throwing 600 punches. Everyone's going to be a little bit tired.
Yeah.
I think Nate's up 5-4.
Yeah.
That was a clear Diaz round.
Oh my god. Left hook to the body, left hook to the jaw, 1, 2, 3 between the eyes. But then eating those punches from Jorge. Who'd have thought that 2 MMA vets would just put on a banger of a fight? Let's see.
All right, round 10. Here we go. Morrow firing everybody up. This could be 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, by the way. 2:47, 2:46, 2:45. These two guys might just bomb them out the entire round.
Yeah.
Good right hand from Masvidal. Nate Diaz, 672 punches thrown and counting. Oh, big combination from Diaz.
What were the total punches thrown or land? Like, all right. What are the total punches landed, though? That's what I want to see.
Both are like right around 200.
This is a great fight.
Again.
I'm curious if this gets any votes. I'm curious if this gets any votes for, like, you know how the Ring does like fight of the year, round of the year, like all that kind of stuff. I'm curious if this gets any votes because it's obviously not a technical masterpiece, but it's a fun scrap.
Yeah,
this is not on the level of like Gotti Ward in terms of chaos, but like round 9 of Gotti Ward 1 or like that round where Marvin Hagler Hearns is not this is not compared to either of those two, but there's not been neither man has taken a round off, and we're 50 seconds in and they're still throwing like they're in the first round.
$40 seconds left. Nate just
there also hasn't been.
It's such a close round too.
Not been
Ooh.
There's not been a lot of clinch ups or.
Oh, good right for both landed at the same time. Diaz landed a big combo after that break. Oh, big right hand from Nate. Oh, good right hand counter from Nate. Oh, another one. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Left hand from Masvidal. That's it. I think Nate won that round.
That was a great fight.
Very good.
It was basically
6'4" Nate is how I have it, but I'm not married to that card at all. Adjust my seat here.
What do you have?
6'4" Nate. 6'4" Nate. I had a 4-4 after 8, and I thought Nate won the last 2 rounds. He clearly won the 9th. Like, there's no doubt about it. He won the 9th round. But I think he won the 10th.
Basically 2 dueling 12-round or 10-round combinations. They just started throwing in the first round, and it just never let up.
This could be a draw. Good freaking fight.
I wouldn't hate a draw. I really wouldn't. I think
I saw some people asking earlier, and I have an answer for you. People asking if we're doing a post-fight show. Yes, we are. If you're expecting a 90-minute marathon of a post-fight show, you're coming to the wrong place because that is not happening. But
you can watch the post-fight press conference on MMA Fighting Site too.
Yeah, we could. You have options. We're giving you options, my friends. It's just a fun-ass fight, man.
That was a great fight. Not even remotely close to a technical, brilliant masterpiece, but
no,
it was of the MMA fighters turned boxers that fought each other. This has been the best.
It's very good.
Apparently, Sean Porter has a 7-3 Masvidal. 740 to 654 punches. Jesus Christ. That's got to be way up there for the record for most combined strikes thrown.
Yeah. It was Jesus.
Ever.
It was. Diaz very happy. Getting his gloves cut off. And something very important to remember too, like when you're looking at the stats and punches landed and stuff, there's no way to know.
Yeah.
Like there's just no way. Punches thrown, you can
count.
You could figure that part out. But it's like you don't know if they landed or not.
Right.
All right, let's go. I think we're about to find out. Oh, no draw.
I still have the audio off, so you'll have to tell me the actual scorecards.
Okay. 95-95 from 1.
Wow.
97-93.
97-93, huh?
98-92.
That's a weird score.
For the winner, Nate Diaz.
97-93 and 98-92.
Yep.
All right.
And 95-95. There you have it. Nate Diaz, majority decision, gets the win. Great fight.
All handshakes right here. No shoving.
Yep.
There's also significantly less people in the ring than most boxing matches are at the end. Like when Haney Garcia fought, there was about 700 people in the ring.
I remember when they did the Mayweather John Gotti III fight.
Oh yeah.
It was like Mayweather walked out with like 150 people.
Yeah. What's Nate saying?
Mission accomplished. Good to get the job done. Nate, shout out California. Felt the love. It's all love. BC asks how much respect he has for Masvidal. It's all respect. Nate was asked if the strategy was to tire him out, and Nate just said, nah, strategy was just to get in there and figure him out. Man of many words. What did you say? Okay. Did he say he wants to go fighting for a UFC title? I think you just said that.
I mean, he's been calling out Leon Edwards nonstop.
Leon Edwards, Jake Paul, and whoever else, you're dead.
There you go.
Okay. I assume we're going to hear from Masvidal. I thought I won. He said, let's run it back in boxing. I felt like I won. Masvidal saying the crowd misguided the judges.
That one scorecard of what 98, 92 is a little crazy. I thought it was way
98, 92 is a little rough. 8-2, Nate? That just seems crazy. Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
What's he saying?
Here we go. We almost had a brawl.
What do you say?
Someone was...
Did that do the dreads again?
Yep, I think so. What's his name?
I don't know.
He's got some friggin' weird name. All right, so they're trying to get Masvidal out of the ring. Due to the dreads, the BKFC fighter was dancing around, just mocking Masvidal. And
that's Cesar Gracie?
I believe so.
Wow.
And Nate Diaz gets the win. All right. And there's Masvidal getting the hell out of there. Okay. Well, there you go. Hey, listen, Ollie McCormick, we're trying to hear here. Can't put the broadcast on the air here, you know? Can't just throw it up there and have you hear what they're saying. I'm trying to listen. So there you go. That was Diaz Masvidal in the boxing ring, won by Nate Diaz via majority decision. So congratulations, Nate Diaz. Congratulations to Jorge Masvidal. Hell of a fight. And Anthony Pettis, Chris Avila had a hell of a fight. It was not too shabby. Not too shabby. I think this over-delivered. And there you go. Any last words, Jose, before we get on out of here?
You know, I had a good time. I had a good time on the watch party. I thought the Danny Jacobs fight is what it is. It was a little bit of a, it was a more technical boxing match than I think it was sandwiched between the not the most technical fights with, Pettis and Avila and Nate and Jorge, but all in all, I thought that stretch of right when we started the presser, right when we started the watch party to when we ended it, I had a good time. I hope everyone else had a good time. I'm glad they didn't go head to head with the UFC.
Yes, it was an auspicious start to the festivities. The pacing was really bad.
Yeah, I picked it up.
And they did. They picked it up. I think they heard the negative comments and they were like, all right, we got to get this thing moving. People are getting pissed off. So good job. Good job all around. 18,000 plus people. And look, we didn't have this thing planned until a few hours ago, and you guys came in and delivered, and we had some great chat about food and restaurants and how to eat a hot dog and
how to make
many more interesting conversations. And we'll have more conversations to be had in a matter of moments on the post-fight show. Plus, you can watch the post-fight press conference. So much going on in the channel, so stick with us at MMAfighting.com. For Jose, I am Mike Heck. Again, you guys rule. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the post-fight show. Peace out.